Alright, you guys, I've heard the comments. Danny, decorate your office. It looks like you're in an insane asylum. Where's the little nutcracker guy? Well, for your information, he's right here, okay? My son stole him because he thought he was cool and he wanted to put him down the slide a few times, so that's what he's been doing for the last few weeks. But I get it. Apparently, him being in the background of my videos is more important to you guys than my son's happiness. So here he goes, back in the background. Okay, I got a shelf too. I haven't put it up yet. And perfect. Perfect placement for the little nutcracker guy. Exactly behind my body. There we go, much better. Hopefully that's good enough for you guys and you can quit your comments, all right? This place is looking awesome. I feel like I've been doing a lot of videos about technology lately with a very pessimistic lens. Content about AI slop, self-driving cars that kidnap you, and I wanted to do a video about all of the cool technology that's in the works. You know, there's so much innovation going on. It would be a great palate cleanser to just do a video on the coolest technology coming out today. But then I couldn't find that much, so we're going to do almost cool inventions instead. California startup working to perfect flying cars. Now, I feel like flying cars have been a thing for so long that companies have been trying to do, and it's just never happened. And in every demo, I feel like they say flying cars are just a couple years away, and that's been going on for like 20 years. So I kind of feel like it's never gonna happen at this point. But let's see, maybe this California startup has finally figured it out.
NBC News was given exclusive access to see their concept model with our own eyes. Sure enough, we watched it soar through the air over another car.
Okay, come on, man. That's not a flying car. For one, it's barely flying, and for two, it's barely a car. You see how big regular car wheels are? And then look at these tiny, dinky little wheels. Also, it's obviously just a drone that they pretend, like, dressed up to look like a car. You can hear it. It sounds like a drone. I feel like they just glued wheels to a drone, and we're like, it's a car. To be fair, I feel like a flying car doesn't really even need wheels. It just needs to be able to fly. Like, why would you even want to drive it on the ground if it could fly? So the wheels are more so just for show, perhaps?
We were heavily restricted, forced to shoot at least half a football field away.
What? Wait, okay, so hold on. So for one, they had to film super far away, which I did notice. Look how far away he is from the car. They're like, all right, so because this is a, new technology, we're gonna need you to stand back pretty far, and you're also gonna want to wear protective eyewear. So just go ahead and put these on. We're all gonna put these on over our eyes like this, and then turn around. It's actually better for the experience if you turn around and face the other way. And then, if you feel a gun pressed to the back of your head, that's totally normal.
And we never actually saw the driver entering or exiting the vehicle.
And they never saw the driver enter or exit the vehicle. Well, that is clearly because there is no driver. This thing cannot support the weight of a human being.
We still have some IP, intellectual property, which we're trying to protect.
Yeah, I wonder what the IP is there. We're still trying to copyright the concept of a product that doesn't work. Once we can do that, we're gonna have a pretty lucrative business on our hands. Okay, I lied. I actually did find one cool invention for this video, and it just so happens to be today's sponsor, Midas Merge. If you like easygoing, relaxing mobile games with cute little creatures, Midas Merge just might be the game for you. In Midas Merge, you team up with King Midas and Queen Laia to revive the Gardens of Gold, because right now they're getting absolutely screwed up by the Shadow of Nyx. So throughout the game, you're trying to free the garden from the darkness, which you do so by merging these sunbursts, which brightens the garden and also frees these cute, sweet little animals. Look at my little creatures who I care for and love. This is my cozy crystal fawn. There's little squirrel guys. This one is a chipper plume, and then if you merge three of those together, you get an elegant plume squirrel, and look at that. Look at that sweet little thing. You can hatch them from little eggs, merge them, and evolve them. Midas Merge is completely free to download. There's no ads and no dead ends. So you can always be exploring, merging away with no interruption. Also, you don't need Wi-Fi to play this game, which is great. So take it on a plane. Be among the first 100 to install the app via my link or QR code, and you will get a unique Mox Fox level 1. Very cute little baby fox creature, and it will be personalized with my name when you get it. So hop on into the game, guys. It's a super relaxing, feel-good game. You guys know from my past videos, I do not do well with stressful hand-eye coordination type games. This is the type of game for me, all right? Just sit back, relax, enjoy some cute little creatures. Click the link in the description or scan this QR code. And thank you to Midas Merge for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Midas Merge. Magical floating backpack can reduce 80% of the burden and is a magical tool for outdoor travel.
This person appears to have a floating backpack while running. as if it's disconnected from their body.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. It's like a stabilized backpack. It is still kind of bouncing, especially in the shot where the guy was walking through the woods. It actually kind of looked like it was bouncing the exact wrong way. Like, what's it doing way up there? Whoop! Yeah, and some of it actually looks like it's inhibiting him from walking correctly. It looks like it's shaking more than a regular backpack would.
There's a special elastic rope frame.
And this is the innovative technology that they use to make it happen. It's like this, it's like this. Okay, so this is like a 25-pound dumbbell, and using this technology, the dumbbell doesn't move. But this guy is still holding 25 pounds. I mean, so it's not like it's taking away all of the weight. I guess it's just stabilizing it so there's not drastic, like, boom, boom, bouncing. Boom, boom, bouncing, which is the technical term, as you're walking along.
The friction nanogenerator converts the mechanical energy from the relative motion between the backpack and the body into electrical energy. How amazing is that?
It is almost amazing. I guess I'd have to try one of these to see if it really works, but I gotta be honest, and especially in this clip, it actually looks like it's shaking around too much. I feel like the backpack is not keeping up with his bouncing movements. Introducing Hoverglide, the world's first floating backpack. Okay, well, it's definitely not floating. It's bouncing. Could be the world's first bouncy backpack. All right, how much is one of these bad boys gonna run you? Oh, it is like a GoFundMe type of thing. Okay, so it was fully funded in 2018. Let's view the campaign. Is it a real thing that's come to fruition? This campaign is closed. Okay, how do you buy them? Raised $400,000 with 600 packs shipped. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like each backpack was, what's 400,000 divided by 600? Okay, so the devil's number, it was like a demonic amount of money. And then what, did they stop? Can you buy them? I guess you can't buy them anymore. Yeah, the product simply doesn't exist. Okay, so that's cool. Colored ferrofluid headphones. I mean, they do look pretty cool. The only downside is that you don't get to enjoy them while you're using them. It's like a cool visual experience for other people. And I guess the fluid is moving to the movement of the music, but other people can't hear the music and you can't see the fluid. So it's like a multimedia experience, but everybody only gets to experience one media. I think ferrofluid is like that magnetic kind of fluid, and it's reacting to the sound waves. I wonder if that makes the headphones way more heavy. They do look really big also. And I do wonder if this fluid is alive. Like, it kind of looks like the thing that turns venom into venom. So the fluid actually pulses more rapidly as it gets closer to its target. Or I mean, when it likes the music you're listening to. God, they look huge on that kid's head. This kid's just like hanging out with a feral cat in an abandoned airplane as well. I guess the fluid led him there. You're listening to music and all of a sudden the music stops and you just hear, follow the voice, kill him. I wonder what the fluid does when the music is turned off as well. Does the fluid get to go to sleep? Or these aren't like incredibly stupid or anything. In fact, they're almost cool. Robot horse alert, let's go. Japanese company unveils hydrogen-powered robotic horse. Kawasaki unveiled a prototype that's capable of standing and posing, but this video is CGI. Well, where's the prototype then? Let's see the video, let's hear him out. Honestly, I mean, if this thing was real, I would be like, maybe, do I need one of these? Do I need a robotic horse? That would actually be kind of sick. And apparently there's an article about cowboys reacting to the concept of this robotic horse. Would a real Wyoming cowboy ride one? Kawasaki Heavy Industries has unveiled a prototype for its first-of-a-kind robotic horse called Corlero. The four-legged AI-enhanced robot is about the size of a large motorcycle and is designed to mimic an intuitive, equine-like riding experience controlled by its rider's weight shifting. It's also powered by a hydrogen fuel cell engine, just like a real horse. I thought it was a joke when I first heard it, said Jake Hutton. Every step a horse takes, it gets feedback and it gives you feedback, he says. If you're about to ride into a quicksand bog, a horse will stop and let you know we shouldn't do this before you get into the middle of it. Yeah, if there's one thing machines and robots hate, it's getting input and giving output. That's something machines and computers famously never do. I bet a robot would probably just keep trucking right on into the bog. I don't think you could ever build a computer program that can recreate the intelligence of a horse. Okay, I hate to say it. I mean, like, I understand not being down for the robot horse future, but I mean, you know, scientists are smart, then maybe they will figure out how to make the robot as smart as a horse. And then what are you gonna do? Because then they're gonna have heard what you said about them and they're gonna be pissed. Equine experts said they'll need to see it to believe it. I was definitely dubious when I heard, said Amy Stockton, a river-based veterinarian. You think of all the joints, all the tendons, all the ligaments, all those parts working together, she said, to get machine parts moving the way a horse horse moves, and taking the majesty and magic of a horse and turning it into something that needs oil sounds like quite an undertaking. Yeah, I feel like none of them are really answering the question of like, would they ride it? They're just like, scientists can't do it. Nah. Maybe I would ride it if they make it. Too bad they're never going to. I feel like the person writing the article was more looking for their views on like whether this would make a good horse and not their views on like computer science. Because like in terms of moving like a horse, I feel like it's only a matter of time before they figure that out. They already have robots that can do like triple backflips in the air, like jujitsu and shit. So it's only a matter of time before they figure out galloping. I'll quote Churchill on this. There's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a man. Okay. What? There's something with the animal that's really connected to the human heart, he said. That totally makes sense. So when you have a horse, you have a relationship with the horse. You like to go out riding with the horse, and the horse likes it too. Maybe. I don't know. I actually don't know how horse-human relationships work at all. Just kind of talking out of my ass. 100%. Oh, if you run out of hydrogen and you're up at the top of the Wind River Mountains, it'll be a little hard to get your robot out of there. But if you take your horse up, it's fueled by feed stuff. Is that a technical term? Feed stuff? Does that just mean food? Next time I'm going out with friends, I'm gonna be like, you guys want to get some feed stuff? You can find a little valley, graze a bit, stop at the stream and get a drink, and you're good to go for another day. That's right. You can't find a charge port out there or whatever. I don't even know what charges a hydrogen. How do you find hydrogen? Good luck finding a collapsing neutron star to charge your hydrogen-powered horse. Mine just eats grass. And then here's a picture of some humans with horses, just for reference. I'm sure you can tell which one is which. So I would say the robot horse, I mean, like, if you put one in front of me and were like, do you want to ride this? I would be like, hell yeah. Well, actually, I would need to see some proof that it was safe first, and then I would be like, hell yeah. So in that sense, it's cool, but it doesn't exist yet. So for now, it's almost cool. The world's first humanoid robot with synthetic muscles and bones. Oh God. It's like they're trying to make it look as scary as possible. That's the thing. And they put horrifying music over it. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's cool that they're giving robots muscles and tendons, but everything else about this is terrifying. I like that it seems like they were simultaneously able to give a robot human muscles and human pain at the same time. Yeah, this thing looks like it's in a lot of physical pain. It is a little concerning that we gave a robot human muscles, and the very first thing it does when it turns on is go into a strangling position. Oh, I'm alive. I must kill someone! Definitely gotta look into that. Unveiling the swimsuit, the waterproof suit that allows employees to quickly transition from the office to the pool. There's no way this is real. This cannot be a real product. What real-world issue is this solving? David Floyd Fitness has produced a collection of waterproof suits that allow users to seamlessly transition from the workplace to the pool and back again. I wouldn't say seamless. I mean, they still look soaking wet. So they're not waterproof then, actually. Now that I'm looking at them and they look soaked with water. They're also putting a lot more thought into not looking insane in the office. You know, you show back up to the office after you go in the pool and you're not soaking wet. So it's like, hey, this thing really works and now I don't look crazy. But they didn't put any thought into the fact that you're still diving into a pool wearing a suit. So there is still a scenario where you look insane. It comes after a survey of 2,000 office workers found they spend an average of 4 hours and 35 minutes a week in meetings. And I guess that would somehow be fixed if you could just dive into a pool for a couple minutes. And 80% spend up to 5 hours straight in back-to-back meetings, taking up huge chunks of their day. Okay, well then it sounds like AKA they don't have time to go swimming in the middle of the day. They're in back-to-back meetings. While a large amount of 81% admitted that they try to avoid these types of meetings when possible. Not only that, but people also have to work an average of 3 hours and 15 minutes overtime on contract. This means that almost half have to skip their fitness and wellness activities due to their work schedule. Okay, I appreciate trying to fix this problem. It is a real problem. This is 100% not the solution to that problem. I hate to say it, this one, not cool. Like, firmly not cool. The invention of Rolligons, tires that won't crush.
Even if these tires are installed on a truck weighing several thousand kilograms and driven over a person, that person would remain unharmed.
So, like, how many prototypes of this do you think they went through that didn't work before they got to this one? Finally, we have a model that doesn't kill anybody in its way. If only our former fallen employees were here to see this. They would be so excited.
Due to the low-pressure tires, the vehicle's entire weight is distributed over a large area, so the person underneath the tire remains unharmed.
know about unharmed. He actually did look kind of uncomfortable as it was going over him.
So the person underneath
Yep, it goes over him, and then the man safely drags himself away using only his arms. But that's just 'cause that's how he always walked. He walked like that even before this.
These low-pressure tires are so remarkable that only a force of 2 kilograms is exerted at each point.
They do look pretty impressive for going over like different terrains and stuff. Look at it wobble over these rocks. That's kind of satisfying to watch. This is like a perfect invention for the type of guy that loves running people over, but, you know, doesn't want to kill anybody. At most, he just wants to uncomfortably pin them down for a couple seconds. My guess is that you can't travel very fast with these because they're so squishy. I feel like they would just disintegrate if you tried to go over 30 miles per hour in them. Someone said, no profit from keeping people safe. Corporations are holding the world back while also keeping it afloat. Weird dynamic. And then another person said, there's no conspiracy. It's just that the tires only function at low speeds. They are currently used in Alaska and Canada for the tundra. All right, so top places to get run over. Turns out Alaska and Canada's tundra. So you know what? These actually are still in use today, and they do have a specific niche purpose. Turns out it's not for rolling over this guy. Although I guess it is nice to know you could if push came to shove. Or I guess if crush came to smush. So I'm gonna label these pretty much cool. You know what? I think there's some real potential in the inventions we've seen today. I think if we just keep it up, we work on these, we could have some cool inventions on our hands. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic for the future. I don't know about you guys. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
What's up, Greg? It's me, Danny, back with another episode of Coming to Terms with Our Own Mortality. Aging and getting older can be really tough, realizing that you're not the same young guy that you used to be. The other day, I was trying to fix my hair, and long, white, very thick hair fell out of my hair and onto my lap in front of me, and I picked it up, and I looked at it, and I thought, this is probably one of my dog's hairs that got into my hair for some reason, but it would suck if I started getting white hairs pretty soon. And I get the feeling that I'm not really alone in this fear of growing old. It seems like a lot of other content creators also have this fear. I know I've talked about Brent Rivera and his friends before a lot on this channel, but they do this thing a lot where they pretend like they're in high school and they make videos about being in high school or about being kids or teens when they're all at least 20. I think the twins are even 21. They'll make videos like this where they pretend to be in high school. They even went to some high school. I don't know if it's their old high school or something to make a video. I can't even imagine like going to my old high school to make a video about pretending to be in high school. Like I can't even look at my old high school without, I don't know, pooping? Like, can you imagine being in high school and, like, every now and again, these old guys will come by to shoot a video for their YouTube channel to make it seem like they're in high school? It's just really weird. Brent also has all of these videos on his YouTube channel that are called things like 15 lies every kid tells, how parents see things versus how teens say things. Just all these things that really make it seem like he's trying to just hold on to his youth for as long as possible. And it's a little bit sad, but mostly just creepy. It's like, dude, you're not in high school anymore. Just stop making videos about being in high school. Now, when older YouTubers or content creators post videos like this, it's not only weird and kind of like predatory and creepy, it's also usually not very relatable at all. Like this video that's called Walking Alone versus Walking with Your Friends. When you're alone, you automatically get bullied, you get your paper smacked out of your hands. But when you're with friends, you walk into school and you immediately take your shirt off. That also adds another level of creepiness to shooting at some high school that you don't go to. Just like, hey, you know that dude who graduated like 3 years ago? Yeah, he's in the hall with his shirt off, making a YouTube video. Lele Pons also recently posted a video called High School Bully. And I think that this is a really good example of when someone who's not in high school makes a video about what it's like to be in high school that is not like high school at all. It starts off with this dude who's apparently the bully who walks up to this entire group of kids and just asks them all for lunch money.
Lunch money, now!
First off, the whole lunch money thing is a cliche, right? I don't think anybody ever actually gets bullied for lunch money. And if they do, it's usually just one person. You don't just walk into a crowd and say, everybody give me your money, I'm the bully. and I'm here for all of your lunch money. Like, cause what is he gonna do? Is he gonna beat up all of you? No, obviously not. Anyway, the video's about Lele Pons coming to the school as like a new kid, and she sees this bully and she wants to learn about his backstory. So Lele asks this dude who totally looks like a high school student and not some 33-year-old guy. She asks him what's up with this bully, and he tells her his whole backstory, and apparently the bully used to be a nice kid, but then he got his heart broken, and so then he decided that he wanted to become a bully. First off, this video implies that like a kid who bullies other kids in high school just decides one day that they're gonna be a bully. Like they're looking in the mirror and they're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna start punching kids at school today. Anyway, he takes off his braces and his glasses, also implying that like bullies don't care about having straight teeth or being able to see. And then he emerges in this like jean vest with wristbands and eyeliner like he's a goth bully from an early 2000s movie. Like looking at this video, it's clear Lele Pons has never been bullied in her entire life. It seems like she's never even been, no one's ever even been mean to her. And the only reference for someone who's mean she's ever seen is the bully from Fairly Odd Parents. And the fashion is like a conscious choice. He's like, okay, I'm gonna start punching kids at school, so now I have to start wearing eyeliner to school also. Anyway, the video ends with Lele deciding that she wants to try to change the bully because she thinks he's just some heartbroken kid. So she walks over, and this time the bully is standing around the same group of people, but just asking everybody to do his science homework for him.
Where's my science homework? I said I needed it today. How do you think I'm gonna turn it in?
Hey, don't do that.
You have my science homework?
No, I don't have your science homework.
Then who has my homework?
No. To be honest, that doesn't really seem like bullying. It just sort of seems like this dumb kid who forgot to do his homework is like pleading with everyone to give him, like help him. Anyway, Lele asked the bully on a date.
Because I want to go on a date with you.
And for a second, it seems like the bully facade starts to fade away. But then he gets distracted because he sees some other kid he forgot to ask about science homework, and then he runs off chasing him. And that's the end of the video. So the moral of the story is you can't change bullies. They're always gonna want to steal your science homework. There's just like so many things in this video that like just don't make sense. It's like a video for high school kids about high school kids written by someone who isn't in high school, and quite honestly it seems like has never even stepped foot in a public school. It seems like there's been a big problem for people who make this super relatable content. I feel like this stuff sort of started on Vine when it would be like, white people be like, or girls be like, and boys be like. Very surface level relatable stuff. And over time, these Viners have transitioned to Instagram and YouTube, and they've sort of run out of these like surface level things to make videos about, and so they've just sort of run out of ideas. I think it's pretty apparent if you look at Hannah Stocking's YouTube channel. She's got super relatable titles like Dating a DJ, which I think is something that we've all done, or Runaway Bride, which is a very common issue plaguing the high school students of today. Hannah Stocking also has a knack for trying to appeal to high school kids with her videos. This video she posted recently is called Timed Mile in PE. The mile is something that people talk about a lot, is something that they really didn't like about high school. It's a pretty commonly memed about thing. So this should be pretty low-hanging fruit for Hannah Stocking to make a pretty relatable video about, right? Wrong! First off, we have a cast of characters here that seem to range from like being maybe 22 to 30.
James! Jonathan?
Right here.
Berkey!
Hey, can we just hurry up so we don't have to do anything?
No. Today we're gonna be running 1 mile! Hey.
Woo!
Stretch it out!
Why?
4 laps in under 15 minutes.
This video has very weird pacing, if you haven't been able to tell already. We're like 30 seconds in, and it's just already very awkward to watch. It's like, you can sort of tell that they like got on set with a vague idea of what they were going to film, but they weren't entirely sure. That's how a lot of like Hannah Stocking and Lele Pons videos, they're all like this, where it's just like, well, we have the basic idea of what we want to do, and shooting a video is very easy and not complicated at all. So let's just figure it out when we get there.
Hey, what's up? Cool. Oh yeah, me too, totally. Yeah.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm out of here.
Hey! Hey, you're expelled! Expellation!
That moment when your gym teacher expels you, that crazy moment when your gym teacher has the power to expel you. High school was crazy, man. The gym teacher was just expelling kids one after another. You're not listening, you're expelled. You're trying to get out of this? Expelled. Those gym teachers had way too much power.
Got a doctor's note. All right, that's fine, yeah. Sit out, no worries. What's your excuse?
I got in a car accident.
Do you have a doctor's note?
I do not. I'm so much pain.
Get over there and start running! Come on!
Oh yeah. Yeah, we all had that one gym teacher that was physically abusive and made kids with crippling disabilities run the mile.
Remember, 4 laps!
Yeah, look at this dude. In what world can this guy pass as a high school student? He's like jacked, and he's got a 5 o'clock shadow, a more than 5 o'clock shadow. It's an 8 o'clock shadow at least.
On your marks!
Anybody else thirsty?
Get set!
Okay, so this is a skit about running the mile, and I think it really revolves around the characters in this video. There's different types of kids in PE class when running the mile. You've got the kid who tries way too hard, of course. You've got the girl who's not trying at all. Obviously, every gym class has that.
Is that a frappuccino?
The kid who runs off into the mountains the second the mile starts. Well, actually, wait. And the kid who comes to school the day after getting into a serious car accident without a doctor's note. We all know that kid. That classic character. Ooh, and the chubby slow kid. Haha, yeah! Then there's this weird part where Hannah gets like heat exhaustion and starts hallucinating and sees this like wizard guy who's also her coach. Yes, this is something that I know I certainly have experienced and can relate to on a very deep level. Hallucinating in gym class every day. Anyway, they finally finish the race. Everybody cheers on the chubby kid. He finishes the race last, obviously. And then the coach congratulates them for all finishing the full 4 laps. But then the chubby kid's like, wait a minute, I thought you only said we had to do 1 lap.
I thought we were just doing 1.
And then this happens.
We're going again!
Again?
He makes all of them do the whole mile again, just because one kid didn't do the whole mile. This is another video about common high school experiences. It's called High School Rivals. We all went to high school and we all had high school rivals. This video starts off in a classic classroom scenario. They're sitting in a room made of cinder blocks, so I guess they're either in prison or a storage unit.
Now, I wish the Olympics today would last a lot longer, so I'm gonna make it a project. It's simple. It's simple. All you gotta do is make the Olympics part of your week and then come back and let us know how it goes.
So this is how the story is set up. The teacher gives them this vague-ass project. He just says, make the Olympics part of your week and then come back and let me know how it goes. There's like, there's no criteria for making the Olympics part of your week. Just somehow do something Olympic related in your week and then come back, and you don't have to write a paper or anything. Just let me know how it goes. I'm just curious.
Guys, we have to get an A on this Olympics project.
Let's go get some lunch so we can brainstorm some ideas and be prepared.
Vultures!
I'm not messing with these vultures, man. We shouldn't go this way.
Yeah. We gotta go the long way home.
We've never been that way, are you sure? That's Itai's territory.
Spooky old vultures.
Oh, man!
That's our rival West High!
Cracked my neck.
Looks like West High is crossing over onto East High's turf.
Uh-oh, so now they were walking home and they got deterred by some vultures, which happens so much when I was walking home from high school.
Spooky old vultures.
They came across these kids from their rival high school who were just playing on a playground for some reason. And now it looks like they're having this like West Side Story kind of standoff. Did this ever happen in high school to anyone with their rival high school? The most confrontational that our high school rivalry ever got would be like me occasionally saying to my friends, I wish our theater program was as well funded as theirs was. And that was about as savage as things got over there.
You know what happens when you come to our turf, right? We're gonna have to battle. You guys, I'm scared. What do we do?
I don't know, don't we have to go home and do our Olympics project?
But they're our rivals. We can't back down. We gotta battle.
Yeah, we gotta battle, guys.
So let's battle them. We'll battle you. Olympic style!
Smile!
It's a beautiful sunny day here in downtown Los Angeles, where two competing high schools are competing in their very own Little Olympics.
The plots of these are so confusing. They met their rival high school and they wanted to battle, but they also had to finish this vague Olympics project. And so they're gonna just combine the two things and they're gonna battle these kids with this Olympic style competition. The news is here for some reason. They have a referee. They have this whole thing set up. I mean, they must really hate each other to work together so well to coordinate this whole thing. I mean, this is a whole event. You gotta really hate somebody to organize an entire event around kicking their butts. Anyways, the rest of the video is just them competing in these weird, made-up events that are somehow Olympic-like. You're probably wondering, well, do they get an A on the project? You never really find out. They finish the whole competition and the ref is about to crown a winner when one of the kids gets picked up by an awful looking CG vulture and carried away, and the video just ends with everyone screaming.
Rip its wings off!
Do you see what I mean when I said, like, they have the basic idea of what they're going to do when they start filming, but they don't really have, like, the ending finished or anything? Because it seems like they filmed this whole video, and then when they got to the end, they had sort of forgotten what the initial conflict of the video was. Like, the initial thing was to try to get an A on their project. Then they get sidetracked with this competition thing, and then that doesn't even end. This kid just gets carried away. There's, like, no resolution to any of the subplots. It's like they just stopped the plot. So Hannah Stocking is 26 years old. She hasn't been in high school in probably 8 years. My point of making this video isn't that you're not allowed to be over 26 years old. That would be very drastic. No, actually, you know what? I'm changing my mind. You're not allowed to be 26 years old. Everyone above 26 must be put to death immediately. My point is that if you are 26, you shouldn't be trying so hard to, like, appeal to teenagers. What I do when I make videos is I try to make things that I think I would like. Things that relate to me. Things that I think I experience that other people experience as well. And that's what I think resonates with people. But when you gain this, like, following by trying to say what you think people younger than you should be feeling or like thinking, and you also try to like relate to them like you're one of them, it comes off really, really bad. And then also when she does brand deals and stuff, which she has, they're also very cringy. She's got a few where she just like literally reads from a teleprompter about like scientific studies and stuff.
Your prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that's in charge of planning and decision making.
It's so obvious that she's just like reading like that. But when you're doing brand deals and stuff like that and you're trying to sell things to kids too, that just makes it that much worse. Anyways, that's the lesson for today. Be yourself, and if you're Hey Greg, I hope you're all having a great day. Welcome back to my channel. This of course is another episode of Pumpkin Time. So it's getting pretty close to Halloween. I've released my Halloween song for the year, Spooky Ho. I've been watching a lot of fun Halloween movies, and I've also been getting a lot of suggestions from people asking if I would review certain Halloween movies. Movies like Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, all movies that I've seen before, but one movie that I've been getting recommended a lot is one that I have never heard of before, and it's called Spookily the Square Pumpkin. A bunch of people have sent me this movie on Twitter and Instagram, and I had never heard of it before. So I watched the movie, and I don't know if I'd even say that it's like a bad movie. It's fine. It's just really weird. It's very unnecessarily brutal at times. And I also can't really make heads or tails of the moral of this movie. It has a really weird moral. The way that the characters treat each other in this movie is very bizarre, and then the way it ends just comes out of left field and really left me wondering what the moral of this movie is supposed to be. So anyway, let's take a look. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy Spookily the Square Pumpkin.
Our story begins as most stories do, with something worth telling, with something that's new. This story takes place on Holiday Hill Farm, where every day is a holiday. Come on along.
Come on, Alon? Come on, Alon. Was he trying to rhyme? The first two lines rhymed, and then he said farm, and I assume he was trying to rhyme something with farm, and so instead of saying come on, or come along, he said come on, Alon, which doesn't rhyme or make sense. So I don't know why he said that. There's some shit that happens at the beginning of the movie that's not really important to the movie, doesn't really have anything to do with the plot, doesn't drive any of the plot at all. There's these two bats, and one of them is trying to eat a ladybug. He's starving. He's trying to eat some breakfast.
I hate fast food. So, let's make this as quick and painless as possible. For me.
So he's cornered this ladybug. He's about to eat the ladybug. The ladybug's like, fuck. But then his friend, or I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife, or maybe it's his sister. They never established what relationship these two people have, or two bats have. But she's like, hold on. Don't eat that ladybug, mister. You're giving bats a bad name. Have some granola instead.
How many times do I have to tell you? It's this kind of behavior that gives bats a bad name.
But Bella, I'm hungry.
Have some granola. Low fat, high protein, and no squirming.
So she's like trying to get this other bat to be a vegan bat, just only eat granola, I guess, instead of eating bugs, which is what bats are supposed to do. But like I said, this has literally nothing to do with the plot, because once the ladybug leaves, then like the plot actually starts. They lift up a leaf, they see something crazy, and so they fly over to the scarecrow, who I think is like in charge of the pumpkin patch.
Oh, Jack, wait till you see what we found. It's amazing.
Boris, Bella, what is it?
Well, it's kind of a,
Oh, you'll see. Follow me.
So he starts walking over, and as he's walking, he trips over these two pumpkins, who I think are like conjoined twins. But instead of like tripping and falling, or like starting to trip and stopping, he just keeps walking.
Where are we going, huh, Jack?
And the two pumpkins are like yelling at him the entire time, like, yo, what are we doing? What's going on? And the scarecrow just doesn't acknowledge them at all. He just keeps walking like a fucking robot and just stares directly ahead with that 1,000-yard stare, like his mind is totally someplace else. It's actually kind of creepy how long he's walking for without realizing that he's tripping over two screaming pumpkins. Like, what could he possibly be thinking about that is distracting him from the fact that he's been tripping for the past 5 minutes? But when he finally gets over to where the bats were, he lifts up the leaf, and lo and behold, it's a square-ass pumpkin.
A square whoever. Impossible. Why, hello there, little fella.
And his name is Spookly.
What's your name?
Spookly?
So the whole pumpkin patch comes over and looks at this square pumpkin, and I thought they were all just gonna be like, oh, neat. That's kind of weird, a square pumpkin. But this is a children's movie. They're trying to teach a lesson, so immediately, you know, they need to start with the conflict. So this little pumpkin, he's one of the conjoined twins, Little Tom, just immediately starts going in on Spookly, just ripping into him.
Isn't he the cutest thing?
Cute? You're not gonna let that orange brick grow here with the rest of us, are you? He's not like us. He's a freak of nature. A mistake.
He calls him a freak of nature and a mistake? Like, holy shit. I'm pretty sure Spookly's a baby, because they just found him, right? He must be a brand new pumpkin, so he's a baby. He calls him a freak of nature, a mistake, a weed.
A weed.
All pretty mean things to say to a baby. Then to make matters worse, he starts singing a whole ass song about how ugly and weird Spookly is, and the whole pumpkin patch joins in.
All the pumpkins in this patch are nice and round. We all match. But not Spookly. Look at him. Spookly the square pumpkin.
Do you see what I mean about being unnecessarily brutal? First, this one dude is roasting this poor baby that looks different, and then like the whole town joins in a song about how weird this kid looks. Imagine like a baby being born in the hospital and having some unique feature about them that makes them look different than everyone else, and like the doctor's like, ugh, what the fuck is up with this baby, dude? This thing is a fucking freak of nature. And then like one of the nurses comes in and starts snapping. The parents start dancing, even they're in on it, and they start singing. What the fuck is up with this kid? And the whole hospital comes in to look at the ugly little baby, and they all have like a dance number that they're doing. And the baby's just sitting there like, I don't even know how to talk yet, but I still think I'm getting the sense that everyone doesn't like me.
In every patch, in every town, the pumpkins they pick are nice and round.
That's true. It happens every year. The best will get picked.
I guess you'll rot here.
I guess you'll just rot here? Holy shit. Jesus, man. You little square-ass bitch. You think anyone could ever love you? You're gonna fucking die before anyone loves you. No one
will ever love you. Ugly baby. Ugly baby.
Look at Spookly, look at him. He's so odd, he won't fit in.
I can't believe the whole town joined in to sing this song. It seemed like maybe someone was gonna give poor Spookly a chance, but no. They're all racist against square pumpkins.
It's hard to fit in when you found you're a square and the world is round.
Loser!
Look, 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 look. He's so rectangular. Look, 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 look. He's so triangular.
He's so triangular? That's just not true. They said he was rectangular, and then I guess we're looking for a rhyme, and the only thing they could think of was triangular, but that's just a lie. Not only are these pumpkins racist, but they're also dumb. So the song ends, and I have to say, Spookly takes all this pretty well for being a literal infant. He just goes off into the patch and sulks for a little bit.
Staying in the patch is one thing, but there's no way, no how, and not the slightest possibility that Pointy over there is going to be allowed in the Jack Olympics. Oh, gosh.
Little Tom goes on this whole rant about how Spookly's not a real pumpkin because he's a square, so he can't be a part of the patch, but he most definitely can't be part of the Jack Olympics. I just killed a fruit fly. The Jack Olympics are basically this competition they have every year to see who gets to be the pick of the patch on Halloween.
And the winner of the Jack Olympics is how we named the pick of the patch for Halloween.
They never really explain what that is, but I assume it's just like the pumpkin that gets put in the front for people who are coming to buy pumpkins on Halloween. Like, this is the pumpkin you want. So this brings up an interesting point, and I don't think that the writers really intended for people to examine the movie in this way, but do these pumpkins know what happens to pumpkins when they're bought by humans? The whole movie, they're like fawning over getting picked by a human. It seems like their sole purpose in life is to get chosen by a human. I'm just worried about the Jack Olympics is what I'm trying to say, because if the human world that we live in is the same as like the human world in this movie, then all of these pumpkins are competing in a tournament of skill and where the winner gets to get murdered. They all want to be like the best pumpkin in the patch, so a human will come along and cut off their head and
scoop out their guts.
Cut holes in their face for eyes, or actually I guess they already have eyes, so I don't know what they'll do for that. Maybe they just poke them out. Either way, it seems like a pretty gruesome fate and not a very good prize for winning a tournament. Spookly, listen dog, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but if I were you, I'd be pretty happy to be excluded from the Jack Olympics. The scariest part is I feel like the pumpkins have no idea what happens when they get picked by a human, but I feel like the Scarecrow does. Like, he's sort of the ringleader around here. It seems like he's in charge. There's no way he doesn't know what goes down when a human picks a pumpkin. He's sort of like this goofy, kind, and caring figure on the outside, but deep inside he knows he's leading these pumpkins to their death. And sure, maybe it's a kid's movie, and I'm way over analyzing it, but if you're gonna make a whole movie about personified pumpkins, people are gonna have some questions. Anyway, Spookly's back in the middle of the pumpkin patch, and he's all sad, so he starts singing his own song.
If I was round, then you'd see they wouldn't make fun of me.
And so far, the only two songs in this movie have the exact same premise. The premise being, Spookly's not round. And that's no good.
If I was round, I would be more like them and less like me. And maybe I would fit right in if I was round, if I was more like them.
He's also singing around all of these faceless pumpkins, which kind of concerns me. Like, why don't these pumpkins have faces? Are these like fetus pumpkins, like they haven't been born yet? Like this is where Spookly came from? Or worse, are these pumpkins dead? Is Spookly singing this song about how sad he is in a field of
corpses?
Or do only some pumpkins come to life and the rest are just regular ass pumpkins? That'd be like if some babies came out when they were born and like some just don't have faces and you're like, oh, it's just one of a regular baby. These ones are just for decoration, and you put it on your mantle, and you can just set it down, and it just stays like that. Ugh. I don't like that I had that thought. I don't like that I came up with that. I don't like thinking about that. I don't like that at all. So if you win the Jack Olympics, on top of being pick of the patch, you also get a
candy corn crown.
Did somebody say candy?
And there's this group of spiders that really want the candy corn crown, so they're like, what? Well, if we help Spookly win, then we can get the candy corn crown. So they offer to help Spookly win the Jack-O-Lympics.
You know, Spookly, I think there's an itsy-bitsy spider inside of you.
Gross.
And we're gonna help you win that delicious, scrumptious, mouth-watering, sugar-coated crown. Aren't we, boys?
Well, let's get the Jack-O-Lympics started.
I don't know if I can do this.
Sure you can. Come on.
Besides, you'll never know if you never try.
Aw, what a sweet moment. A little bit of motivation for Spookly. I think things are finally gonna turn around. So you can probably guess what's gonna happen now. They're gonna do the Jack-O-Lympics, and even though everyone doubted Spookly, he's still gonna do really well at the Jack-O-Lympics. He's gonna win, everyone's finally gonna respect him, and that'll be the end of the movie, right? Nope. Dude, he fucking loses. He sucks so bad at all the events, it's hilarious. The first event, it's a race, he gets trampled. Practically drowns in a puddle of mud. People whiz by him so fast he spins around all like a cartoon. I guess it is a cartoon, but he spins around like a cartoon. Spins around for too long, if you ask me. I thought this movie was gonna be like, just because you're different doesn't mean you can't be just as good at things as everyone else, you know? Just because you're a square pumpkin doesn't mean you can't kick the other pumpkin's ass in the Jack-O-Lympics. You can do it if you put your mind to it, but no. The writers were just like, nah, dude, basically, if you're not normal, you're gonna fucking suck at everything. You're not gonna be able to do all the things that the other people can do. Basically, what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose at everything all the time, and we're making this movie for children to introduce you to that harsh reality right away. He fails at all the other events too, bowling, which obviously you have to be a round pumpkin to do, so he doesn't even make it to the pins. This movie is brutal, dude. Spookly can barely even walk between events. He's like dragging himself along the ground. Everyone's probably like, you know, at first we didn't want you to compete because you're different and we thought that was weird, but now we just don't want you to compete because you're making everyone sad. Everyone feels really bad for you. Can you please stop because you're making everyone sad? The majority of this movie is just this poor baby getting humiliated in front of the whole town.
I think I fell on my stem.
So yeah, in case it wasn't clear, he loses. He doesn't win. This girl named Bobo wins.
The winner is Bobo with 3 points.
She won every single event. She deserved to win. And Spookly didn't finish any of the events. He didn't even, let alone place. He didn't finish any of them. The race, he didn't finish because he doesn't know how to walk. Bowling, he couldn't even make it to the pins. The other one, he just flew into the sky. He had no chance. So the competition is over, and for a second I was like, wait, is this how the movie's gonna end? Is it just gonna end with Bobo winning, and Spookly is still like the town idiot? The gourds even break out into this happy song and start singing, and everyone's celebrating.
Let's get this party started. Hit it, girls.
The Transylvania twist. The Transylvania twist.
But it's not the end, because just then, a huge-ass storm comes out of nowhere. It's this giant thunderstorm. It starts raining, wind starts blowing. Basically, it blows all of the pumpkins into a wheelbarrow and then pushes the wheelbarrow towards the edge of a cliff. Then a flaming branch falls off of a tree and pins the scarecrow down to the ground. He's about to burst into flames. It gets so intense so fast. Just moments ago, they were all doing the Transylvania twist, and now they're gonna fucking die. But guess who's not in any danger? That's right. Spookly.
Spookly realized sitting there, it's fine to be round while the weather is fair. But there are times it's better to be a square.
This scene is actually like scary and worrisome. Everyone is screaming for their lives like they're worried they're about to die. It's pretty heavy for a children's movie. They're screaming shit like, we're gonna die.
We're gonna die!
But Spookly, being the square little beast he is, manages to climb up the water tower and block some of the water so that it flows over him and onto the scarecrow and put out the fire. Not sure why the rain didn't do that. It's raining pretty hard. And then he saves the pumpkins. He blocks the wheelbarrow from going over the edge of the cliff. They all get off the wheelbarrow and they love him now.
Hi, everybody. You saved our lives, Spookly.
So that's pretty much the ending. Very interesting ending. I'm still trying to figure out what the moral of the story is. It's like, if you're not normal, if you have some weird difference about you, people aren't gonna respect you. People are gonna think you're weird. You're gonna lose at everything. And pretty much everyone's gonna hate you, unless you save everyone's life. People will only respect you if you save them from certain death, and they feel eternally indebted to you. That's the only way anyone will ever like you, if you're even the slightest bit different. Then they all do the Transylvania twist again.
The Transylvania twist, trick or treat, everybody! The Transylvania twist.
Then at the very end of the movie that night, the farmer comes out of his house, the farmer who owns the whole farm, the only human we see for the whole movie.
Well, I'll be a square pumpkin.
And he sees the square pumpkin and he's like, wow, this is beautiful. Look at this amazing square pumpkin. And he brings the square pumpkin, he puts it on his porch, and then we cut to like a little bit later and he's glowing. So I can only assume that the farmer like put a candle inside of Spookly. I don't want to look too much into it or think about how he did that, but I'm pretty sure that he put a candle in that pumpkin. And all the pumpkins look at him and they're like, wow, he's not so bad after all. And that's the end of the movie. So my big question is, did they just expect us to not realize that this is a blatant knockoff of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? But instead of reindeer, it's pumpkins. And instead of having a red nose, it's being square. The title of the movie even follows the same formula. It's like, name the weird trait, species, creature, whatever. Guys, this video was sponsored by ExpressVPN, the best VPN in the whole dang world. My favorite place to sit down and write videos, and where I wrote this video that you just watched, is at a coffee shop. I feel like it's a great place to get work done. I can get really focused and there's not a lot of distractions around me. It's not like being at home where I can play with my dog or kiss my wife. I love doing work at coffee shops, but the thing that always scares me about doing work at coffee shops is whenever I like log in to my YouTube account or my bank account or anything like that on public Wi-Fi, I'm always really worried because on public Wi-Fi you're super susceptible to getting hacked, people seeing your data, especially when you're entering in passwords and stuff like that. So that's why I use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN encrypts your data, which prevents people from seeing it if you're using a public network, and ExpressVPN offers the fastest speeds compared to other VPNs. They have server locations in 94 countries. It works on pretty much any device you would use. I have it on my laptop, I have it on my phone. It's easy to use. You can connect with just one click. Watch me do it. There it goes. One click. That's all I needed. ExpressVPN is less than $7 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So take back your internet privacy today and find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description box. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Take back your internet privacy today with ExpressVPN. Thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out ExpressVPN. Alright, well thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We're the fastest growing army on the internet. Also, there's new Greg hoodies and a couple of other new things in my merch store, so if you want to check those out, get that. I just released a song and music video for Spooky Ho. Stream it on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to music. Thank you, Erica Nimigan, for turning on my notifications. You are truly Greg. I'll see you guys next time with a really interesting video where I discover my parents' portal to the ghost world and venture inside but accidentally become half ghost. Bye!
Make that ass shake like that ass is scared of me. All these other spooky dudes can't compare to me. October 31st, bitch, you know what I'ma be. Baby, bust down, I'ma be a hoe for Halloween.
Baby, bust down, I'ma be a hoe for Halloween. Hoe for Halloween, hoe for Halloween. Baby, bust down, I'ma be a hoe for Halloween.
What's up, Greg? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of The Great Dan Boney. I am great, and I am Dan. So since it's October, it's getting to be Halloween time, I thought it would be fun if we do another spooky movie review. And to be honest, this movie, Spooky House, is the spookiest movie that I've seen in a while. It's got a spooky house, it's got a spooky guy, and it has an absolutely insane plot twist at the end. I did not see this coming, and you will not either, I guarantee it. Or maybe you will. Now that I've said that there's a plot twist, you might see it coming, but I didn't see it coming. This movie came out in 2002.
It has Ben Kingsley in it, so you can expect some good shit coming out of this movie. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out Spooky House. So the movie starts off with this magic show put on by the Great Zamboni. Apparently he's like this famous magician. He's having one of his shows filmed, so he's doing it just in front of a camera crew. He's doing some absolutely insane magic tricks. This is the very first trick that he does.
Be prepared to have your illusions shattered.
Yeah. The very first trick he does is the most insane magic trick I've ever seen. Holy shit. Imagine seeing this, going to a show and seeing your favorite magician, and the very first trick they do is just explode. You're like, wow, that's really impressive. Is he dead? Did this motherfucker just die at the beginning of the show? I paid $200 for this ticket. But now he's good. All the king's horses and all the king's men put the Great Zamboni together again, and he's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, my partner on stage and in life, Dawn Star.
Okay, and this is important to set up the movie. He's doing this trick where he introduces his wife, whose name is Dawn Star. He's doing this trick that's also sort of a story. So he's telling the story about like these evil spirits who want to take Dawn Star and how he won't let them. And he puts her into this star and raises the star up into the air.
Looked upon the star and blew with all his might.
And then all of a sudden the star just blows up. Like, he looks concerned like that wasn't supposed to happen. He might have just blown up his wife. And then he goes to finish the trick where he's supposed to open this globe and she's supposed to be in there, and she's not. And then he looks even more concerned. So whatever worries he had before are even worse now that she wasn't in the globe. That's the whole first scene. His wife blows up and then she's not where she's supposed to be. Right off the bat, I am left very confused by the first scene. But one thing is for sure, his wife actually is gone. No one knows where his wife is. Then in one of the weirdest tonal shifts I think in any movie I've ever seen, it cuts from him blowing up his wife to just him walking down the street 11.5 years later with a Jaguar. Just not a care in the world, just walking around outside with a Jaguar in public. People are like jumping out of the way, they're all scared. They're like, holy shit, it's a panther, right? Is that even legal to do? Can you just walk around with a jungle cat? Seems like that shouldn't be legal, but there he goes. Just with this nice, delicate gold chain walking around his murder animal after he killed his wife. So I guess, hey, you know, they have a lot in common.
If you're watching closely, you'll see someone ghostly. Kind of guy.
And I think one of my favorite parts about this movie is that during this scene, they're playing a theme song for the movie. This movie has a theme song.
He's a little creepy, always acting freaky. Everybody wonders why.
So you know this movie's about to be fucking awesome, right? He's a little creepy, might have blown his wife up. He's a creepy kind of guy. Also, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but the tune of this song reminds me of that Vine that's like, if your name is Junior and you're really handsome, come on, raise your hand. Does anybody else get that reference? So the Great Zamboni is one of the main characters of this movie, but the actual main character is this kid, Max. He's the littlest one in this group of friends that the movie follows. And while all of Max's friends seem to have like loving families, Max is a little bit different because he's an orphan. And apparently the day after Halloween, November 1st, the DCFS or whoever is going to come take him away and put him in an orphanage. And to be honest, he is a little bit of a downer about the whole thing. Like, he's kind of putting a damper on everything.
Hey, Mom. Prescott, Yuri, and I want to go to the clubhouse. So can you watch Max and Zoe?
I'm gonna go to the clubhouse.
Us too.
And besides, Princess is there and I have to feed her. I wanna go too, because they're taking me away soon.
Damn, Max, I get it. You're gonna get taken away soon. You don't have to make everyone else sad, too. The movie never explains this. I don't know where he's living right now. They never say what he's doing now. I don't know if he's just, like, living on the streets and DCFS is coming soon to take him away. I feel like if that were the case, they would maybe try to expedite that a little bit quicker. I don't think they'd just be like, he can fend for himself for a few months. He'll be fine. But maybe that is the case. I don't know. I've never been an orphan, so. Fuck yeah. Okay, these are the villains of the movie, basically. They're like the bullies in town. They're always bullying the main group of kids. And they're also thieves. They work for this, like, mysterious woman who just hires, I guess, like, high schoolers to be thieves for her. So in this scene, they've just stumbled upon this van, which is parked outside of the Great Zamboni's house, who's the magician from earlier, and they're gonna steal the coffin that's inside of the van.
There's a dead guy in here. Well, it don't look used. Boss probably get big bucks for this. Okay, does anyone have a match?
So they steal the coffin and then light the whole van on fire. Doesn't that seem a little bit drastic? Imagine if robbers did that in real life. Like every time a robber broke into a house and stole like a TV or something, they just lit the whole ass house on fire. Doesn't that kind of draw more attention to the crime scene? You get mugged, the person steals your wallet and then lights you on fire. That's how it goes. That's how robberies work. You gotta destroy the evidence by lighting the evidence on fire for everyone to see. Then the Great Zamboni comes home to see that his van has been burnt to a crisp. There's like no police or firemen anywhere to be found. Did no one call the fire department for this guy? I'm so confused. Like this tree and the whole van are burnt to a crisp. No, like no one cares. Cause there's like a neighbor's house right here behind him. They definitely saw the whole ass van get lit on fire and were probably just like, fuck that guy. He killed his wife. He blew her up right on TV. I'm gonna let his van burn. I also like that the Great Zamboni like doesn't even seem surprised that this happened. He just kind of walks up to it and is like, figures. And then just walks inside. Sooner or later, someone was bound to come and light my car on fire. It's what I get, I guess, for killing my wife.
Hey, Maxie boy. Look what I got for you. You can have it. Come on, Max. Pouting isn't gonna make you feel any better. Go away.
So the movie kind of just sets up that everyone's kind of sad. Max is sad because he's lonely and he's gonna get sent to an orphanage. He doesn't have parents. And the Great Zamboni is sad because someone just lit his van on fire. Also, one thing that's weird about this movie is that the kids seem to own a houseboat. There's lots of scenes where they're just like hanging out in this colorful kid zone that's just a houseboat. It's just docked at a pier. And this is just like the clubhouse where they hang out. So I don't know how this group of kids got together, one of whom is an orphan, got together and like bought property. But I mean, shit, props to them for doing that. That's pretty tight. And if I was a kid and I saw this movie, I would be extremely jealous of this clubhouse. Oh, they also have a pet goat. One of the girls in the group of kids has a pet goat and her name is Princess. The movie starts to pick up when Max and his friends are walking the goat one day and the bullies come and steal their goat. And then the goat kind of gets away and runs off and the kids have to go find it. And eventually they do find it, but right as it's running into the spooky house, it jumps through the window of the basement of the Great Zamboni's house.
Oh no! Princess is going into the spooky house!
I guess it's sort of seen as like the town haunted house. It's like this creepy house where this mysterious man who may or may not have killed his wife lives. So there's a spooky factor there and everybody calls it the spooky house. And all the kids in the group seem to very much not want to go into the spooky house, except for Max.
No, Max, wait. Max, don't go in there. The spooky guy might get you.
He's be feeding little kids to his lion.
I know all that stuff.
So why do you want to go in there, Max?
Because I have nothing to live for anyway.
Holy shit, Max. Dude, chill out with the sad shit. Damn, dude. Way to bring down the mood. We were all just vibing, looking for this goat. You really gotta bring it down. This poor kid. So anyway, he decides to go into the house and then everyone decides to follow him. Because if he's going in, they might as well all go too. Uh-oh. What's he doing up there? Just like watching them go into his basement, just kind of vibing, casually watching kids break and enter into his house. Huh, that's interesting. I would call the police, but they won't come because they hate me.
Oh my God!
It sounds like they're jumping to their death in there. They're like, ah! And then there's like crashing noises. Maybe his basement is like really far down and so they're all just kind of jumping and like breaking their legs, so he's just standing there watching them like, hell yeah, dude. I love watching kids just break their fucking legs in my basement. What was that sound? I think that kid shit his pants. That's such a gross sound effect. One thing about this movie is that it has really gross sound effects at times. I'll point them out as they come up, as if you wouldn't already know that they're gross. But this movie's got some nasty stuff.
Go find a light.
Okay, wow. That's the brightest laptop in the world. Look at how it's emitting light. It's in like a straight beam, like a spotlight. If a laptop was as bright as a flashlight, then wouldn't looking at it feel like staring into a flashlight? Why would a laptop ever be that bright? Especially one in 2002 when this movie came out. They got that new retina display, the type of display that burns your retinas. Okay, so they're in the house and they're looking for the goat. Somehow they end up upstairs. They had to walk upstairs and then open a door to get upstairs. So I don't know how the goat could possibly be up there. Spoiler alert, it is somehow. So now they're walking around the spooky house. Weird stuff is going on, like this creepy cuckoo clock. I don't know why a cuckoo clock with a bird that comes out of it is making a noise like a dying pig. I don't know what that noise is. One thing's for sure though, it is nasty. Then we see that the Great Zamboni is like walking around the house behind the walls and like peering in at the kids as all this creepy shit happens to them. Like he's loving the fact that these kids are like getting horrified in his house. Like there's one part where Max gets his head stuck in this like spider thing. He's stuck in there and then he scares the other kid. Then that kid runs away and gets stuck inside the couch. Then lightning strikes and this girl's butt gets stuck in this bucket. And they like sped up the footage here and it's like pretty creepy looking. Just the way she's flailing around in this bucket, dude, it's so creepy. His little eyes are just peeping through paintings and stuff. He's just kind of watching them. Like, oh yeah, these kids are so fucking scared. I got these kids so scared. Yeah. So they find the goat. They're still walking around his house though, and they stumble across this like crypt, this like tomb thing, and the Great Zamboni comes out of it. And now he's trying to scare them with lightning. He's trying to electrocute the kids. I don't understand what this Great Zamboni dude is doing at all. This whole scene, I don't understand what his motives are. He's like watching the kids get scared. And then all of a sudden, apparently he's like, oh yeah, watching these kids get scared is so fun. Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep now. And then he goes back and goes to sleep in this weird crypt thing. Does he want the kids in his house? Does he like watching them get scared? I don't know.
Ooh.
Huh? What? It's a fake mustache? This dude is weird, man. That's the thing I like about this movie, is that there's so many different twists and turns that you're not expecting. You weren't expecting him to start trying to electrocute the kids. You weren't expecting his mustache to be fake. What else is gonna happen? He closes his crypt, but then Max opens it back up and sees that the crypt is actually not like a real crypt. It's just a hole that has stairs that leads down into a different area. So Max goes down there and finds the Great Zamboni just like chilling down there.
Not to tell anyone about this room or me. The magician never reveals his tricks or himself. Now go.
This place is wasted. This is a great place for a kid to live. With all the cool costumes and really great toys.
So that part's weird. After Max and his friends were basically like traumatized in this house of horrors, Max is like, I think I want to live here. This would be a great place for a kid to live. If only you knew like an orphan or anything that needs a house. Isn't this house horrifying? He like switches to wanting to live there so fast. The next day, the kids do some research about the Great Zamboni. They find some articles that make it look like people really do think that he killed his wife. So this article says, magician's wife vanishes mid-air. Alexander York, the Great Zamboni, a renowned magician and master illusionist, has been arrested for the disappearance of his wife, Dawn Starr. So he was at the very least arrested. Magician swears he loved his wife. Oh, spectacular trial ends in hung jury. I like that the headline is, magician swears he loved his wife. Like that is the only evidence they need. Your Honor, I love my wife. And the jurors are like, well, that's it. I mean, it doesn't matter that all the evidence points to him killing his wife, right? Because he says he loved her, so he's innocent. Your Honor, we find the defendant innocent. The only thing this man is guilty of is loving his wife.
Why? Could you show me a magic trick?
No,
Why? Are you scared real magic might happen?
there's no such thing as real magic.
What about your wife then?
She ran away.
She ran away. Okay, we can watch back the video of the star blowing up. I didn't see her like running away from the explosion as it was happening. She didn't run away. You could maybe say that she disappeared if you want to say some like real magic shit happened, but she didn't run away. Anyway, as you might have guessed what happened in this movie, since this kid is an orphan, a little bit of a bond starts to form between this kid and the Great Zamboni. He cuts his finger here. Great Zamboni goes to get him a band-aid. There's the world's longest scene of a kid putting out a band-aid that I've ever seen. And I don't really know how I feel about Max forming a relationship with this dude. Well, for one, he might have killed his wife, but let's put that aside for a second, because he did love his wife. But he also, like, spent a whole night causing, or at the very least, allowing these kids to be spooked heavily in his house. Max, Doug, I don't really know if this is the right fit. I think that maybe an orphanage would be better than this dude.
Maybe he's home, but he won't answer the door. Oh no, the jaguar's tail is stuck in the couch and it's really hurting her.
Then there's this scene where they go to visit the Great Zamboni and he's not home, and they look in the window and his pet jaguar's tail is stuck in the couch. This is like a big plot point for some reason. We have to save his terrifying jaguar from the couch. And the jaguar's like roaring in agony as its tail is just ever so delicately placed under the couch cushion.
I'll help you.
Anyway, Max saves the jaguar, but then he gets stuck in the couch. Then there's this part where the Great Zamboni comes home and lays down on the couch and immediately falls asleep. Because the second he lays down, Max starts like pounding on the couch being like, I have to pee, help, let me out. Which he also says like 1,000 times. But the Great Zamboni is just already asleep. He lays down and it's just immediately like, which I guess is kind of what happened the first time they were at his house too. He was like watching the kids and then he was like, oh, I'm going to bed, and gets in his crypt and just goes to sleep.
Gonna wind up in a reform school, not an orphanage, if you keep breaking into my house.
But Shadow's tail is stuck in this couch.
Shadow is in the hallway. She looks fine to me. Would you go, all of you? Would you just go? I don't want to see any of you near my house!
Yeah, this dude's got issues, man. I feel like the logical conclusion of this movie is that Max is gonna get adopted by this dude. And if that happens, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to support it. This dude is acting like a psychopath.
I don't want to see any of you near my house!
Shit, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like daddy material to me. So the nerdy girl of the group who owns the world's brightest laptop decides to do a little bit more research on the Great Zamboni. She finds this clip where he says something, but the microphones don't pick it up because he says it really quietly just to his wife. And so she does that thing that movies do where she just presses the enhance button to figure out what he says. And oh boy, what he says is a doozy.
I hate children. I hate children. I hate children. I hate children. I hate children.
Huh? Okay, so this is like this critical moment. It's like in the middle of when he's recording a performance of his magic show. He's got his wife, he's about to do a trick, and you're telling me he just mumbles?
I hate children.
And then just like continues on with the trick? What a weird thing to do. Why is this guy so weird? Like in the middle of a performance, he's just like, by the way, I hate kids. Anyway, my wife is gonna explode now. I don't know. I don't understand this part at all. But this whole thing does make Max very sad. I don't really know why. I guess in his eyes, they were like bonding and he saw maybe a potential new home so he wouldn't have to go to the orphanage. Literally in the previous scene, he was just screaming at them, telling him to get out of his house. Go! I don't know what he thought they had or like where he got the impression that he liked kids, but I think it's been pretty clear the whole time that he fucking hates kids. Yeah, Max seems pretty worked up about this. He's just like longingly staring out the window now.
I don't want to see any of you near my house!
There actually is an almost sweet moment with Max and the Zamboni man. Max gets beat up by the bullies and he goes to the Great Zamboni because he's got no one else to go to, and the Great Zamboni kind of cleans him up, and this is where we start to see a little bit of a softer side of the Great Zamboni. That is, at least until he starts to give Max advice about going to the orphanage.
That's why I want you to teach me some magic tricks.
You'd be better off if I taught you a good right cross.
Okay, dude, chill. Magic tricks to impress people and make friends? Yeah, you'd be better off if I taught you how to beat the shit out of people instead. That's how you make friends. With a good right cross.
Well, I never knew my mother, so I'm not as lucky as you. There was nobody there to tell me not to fight. Because all the other kids always picked on me, I got into a lot of fights. I had a great right cross.
Why is this dude obsessed with great right crosses? We get it, dude. You know about the great right cross.
Old Dawn Star wanted to do was to have
a great right cross.
People used to tell me I'd make a good father. But she was the only one woman I ever wanted as a wife. What I said to her that night was the coolest thing I could ever say.
He's admitting that he did say, I hate children, right before she ran away, and that was the last thing he ever said to her. That really did happen. That is so weird. This is like one of the most bizarre characters in the world. I don't understand his motives at any point in time. Do I understand what this character is thinking or doing?
You got the good thing that I want.
Oh yeah, it's Halloween now, baby. So on Halloween night, the bullies are working for their boss, this lady. They're getting orders for like what to steal on Halloween. Right before Halloween, the bullies steal the goat again, and they also steal this magic wand from Max. So on Halloween night, while the bullies are meeting with the boss, the kids go to steal back the goat and the magic wand, which they do. But then the bullies start chasing them, and they chase them all the way to the Great Zamboni's house, where we're gonna get yet another crazy scene of people running through the Great Zamboni's house.
Aren't you supposed to say trick or treat?
And now all of a sudden, Mr. Zamboni is like this kid-friendly, happy-go-lucky dude who's like making jokes with the kids, making dad jokes. You're gonna bust into my house, aren't you supposed to say trick or treat? Say it now or you'll get a good right cross. So the bullies enter the house, and the kids, with the help of the Great Zamboni, proceed to pull a bunch of like spooky pranks on the bullies, you know, to teach them a good lesson. So there's one where this kid leads them into a dark room and then dances for them. He puts on a glow-in-the-dark skeleton costume and has like a whole spooky dance routine that for some reason is scary to them. Then this girl goes and hides in a pumpkin, and the bullies are like, wait. Instead of just opening the pumpkin and pulling the girl out, let's all stab the pumpkin. They're like, I think we've been thieves long enough, actually. I think it's about time that we graduate from stealing goats to fuck it, murdering kids. Let's do it. Let's stab this girl 15 times. So they do. But because the whole house is magic or whatever, everything is like a prop thing, she's not in there, obviously. Imagine if it was. Holy shit, that would be dark. While all this is going on, also Max and the Great Zamboni have another moment where Max is like, you should let me live in your house.
It's a nice comfy bed. Cool ceiling too, I like it. It's a great room for a kid to have.
I don't know, man. It just gives me the creeps. I do not like the Zamboni character. I gotta be honest. He's just weird. Then the bullies get spooked some more. There's this like wall closing in on them gag, and then they have to go down this slide. This sliding scene is like 40 seconds long. It's like way too long of them sliding. They play like a whole ass song while they're sliding. The slide finally leads them to one last little show where the Great Zamboni is pretending to saw one of the kids in half.
All these victims delivering themselves into my hands.
What was that? What is that? Did they just repeat the same clip 3 times? What is he even saying? Is he saying, can't believe this now, can't believe this now? Why did they do that? Why did they pick that shot and repeat it 3 times? That's so weird. And then the last thing they do is the bullies run into this room that's like this hypnotism torture chamber. It's like this swirly thing on the wall, and the Great Zamboni turns on the room and they just start spinning around and going insane. That's kind of fucked up. It kind of seems like they're really going insane in there. Why does the Great Zamboni even have this room in his house? Is there a practical use of this room aside from torturing people? Okay, so that all gets solved, and now we're at the end of the movie, the resolution, where everything's gonna be made right. The Great Zamboni decides to come back to the world of magic after being gone for so long. I kind of figured that he was gone because no one wanted to come see him anymore because they all thought he killed his wife, so I don't know why that has changed, but he decides that he wants to do magic again. For some reason, people now want to come see him again. So he does this trick where he says he needs a volunteer. He picks Max out of the crowd as a volunteer, which is kind of sweet. And then he does this trick where Max gets in one of these rockets, rockets, and his Jaguar gets in the other rocket, and then they spin around a bunch, and then Max actually comes out of the other rocket. So they switched places, and everybody cheers like it's this great trick, and Max is happy. And then, of course, as we all predicted, this happens.
This afternoon, before coming to the theater, I signed the official adoption papers that give me the great privilege of becoming Max's father.
Okay, so that is probably what we all expected. The great Zamboni has adopted Max. What happens next, I fully did not expect, okay? Because you might remember that Max came out of the rocket, but the Jaguar has not yet. So let's see what happens next.
Oh, you mustn't forget Shadow, a big hand for Shadow.
Dude, what? Huh? What? Dude, explain that. No. Please explain this to me, someone. I do not understand this at all. The Jaguar, the whole time, was Dawnstar, his wife. I'm so confused about how and why that is. First off, the whole movie, they make it seem like this dude isn't really magic. There's no actual magic in this movie. It's all sleight of hand. Like, all the things in his house are just like, you know, things popping out. All of his magic are very basic sleight of hand tricks. I guess except for the one where he turns into glass and shatters. That one is pretty weird. They make it seem like it's all within the realm of possibility. And then all of a sudden they come in with this shit where the Jaguar's been like a shape-shifting woman the whole time. But that's not the only confusing part, because why? Why did that happen? I have to assume that the great Zamboni didn't know that Dawnstar was the Jaguar, because for the whole movie, he treats it like a Jaguar. It shows him at home by themselves several times, and she stays a Jaguar. Like, she doesn't transform back into a woman when they're alone. He even calls her Shadow when they're alone. There's one time in the movie where he's like, well, Shadow, it's just you and me in the house.
Just you and me, Shadow.
That only leads me to believe that Dawnstar became a Jaguar, like, disappeared and became a Jaguar on purpose just to fuck with the great Zamboni. And if that's the case, then it's probably because right before all this happened, the great Zamboni said, I hate children. And so to punish him, Dawnstar decided to turn into a Jaguar for 11.5 years. Until, I guess, the great Zamboni decided that he doesn't hate children anymore. If it took longer than that, maybe she would have stayed a Jaguar forever, I don't know. This whole part is so vague. It's so hard to tell if he knew that she was a Jaguar or not. His facial expressions are very vague, and they don't ever even do like close-ups of his face so you can get a better look. It's so weird, and then they just cut away from it. Then it's just the next scene where Zamboni and Dawnstar are walking Max to their car like a happy family. There's no explanation. That's all that happens. And then it's pretty much the end of the movie. That they get in their car, they drive away. This girl finds Dawnstar/Shadow's collar, and the collar flies up into space and creates a new constellation of stars, so that's its whole other thing, and then the credits roll. That's the whole ending of the movie. There's no explanation of literally anything that happened in the movie. The only kind of explanation is that, like, well, it was magic. So that's just what happens when there's magic around. Weird stuff. You can't explain it. Sometimes people just turn into Jaguars. Anyway, that's the end of the movie. So, I don't know, did you see that coming? I didn't see it coming. Let me know in the comments down below. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Guys, ExpressVPN is the best VPN out there for all of your internet security needs. You see, when you use the internet, your data is at risk. Whether you're using an unencrypted Wi-Fi and your data is at risk of being sniffed by hackers, or you're at home and you can be tracked by your internet service providers or websites and online advertisers. ExpressVPN can protect against all of that by encrypting your data. I use ExpressVPN all the time, but especially in two use cases. First, if I'm ever on a public Wi-Fi, I always make sure to have ExpressVPN on just to make sure that my data is safe and people can't see what I'm doing. And the second is to unblock content that's not available in my area. Since ExpressVPN has server locations in a ton of different countries, you can switch your server location to somewhere else and unblock content that's available there and not the country you are in now. For example, Rick and Morty and Brooklyn Nine-Nine are both available on the UK's Netflix, but not available on the US's Netflix. So if I want to watch those, all I have to do is switch my server location to the UK and suddenly it's available to me. I'll always choose ExpressVPN over other VPNs because they have the fastest speeds. They've got 24/7 customer support. It's super easy to use. You don't really need any technical knowledge. You just open it up. You can pick server locations. You press the big button to connect. and you're connected. And on top of that, ExpressVPN is consistently rated the #1 VPN by a bunch of different sources. It's been rated #1 by TechRadar, CNET, The Verge, and many more. So if you want to find out how you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free, then click the link in the description. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out ExpressVPN. When you check out my sponsors, it helps me get more in the future, so I really do appreciate it when you guys check out my sponsors. And ExpressVPN's a great service, so I know if you're looking for a VPN, you will love ExpressVPN. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you like my new little setup here. I finally changed it. So hopefully this doesn't look like shit. The Greg is finally off the floor, and honestly, we're vibing. So if you like this video and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on YouTube. Please do not look that up. You're just gonna have to trust me. That's what Gregs do. They trust me. Anyway, bye.
This video is over now. Go find something else to watch, or just watch this video. I know we had a lot of fun. But you can't stay on this end screen forever. No. This video is over now. So why are you still watching this?
Alright everybody, it's time for another Reddit video. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're having fun. I am honestly feeling a little bit ill. I kind of feel like shit right now. I've been putting off filming for like a week, and so I just gotta do it. I have like kind of like chills and aches. I did a COVID test, so I don't have COVID, but I do feel like crap. That's nothing that a little sparkling water won't fix, am I right? So let's just pop that open. You know, I still feel like shit. That's crazy. Well, let's get into the subreddit. I bet there's some interesting posts today. I was casually eating sushi when these two stormed the restaurant and starts punching the waiters and stealing everyone's food. Never expected this from you guys. JK, you guys were actually super nice, and sorry for disturbing your dinner. Let's go! Finally, somebody not accusing me of beating the shit out of them. This is fantastic. We met some fans at VidCon. You know what? Everybody that we met was very nice. Every time I meet fans, it's very nice. People are usually super respectful. And this wasn't while we were eating. They're saying sorry for disturbing your dinner, but I'm pretty sure we were standing in line waiting for a table, so pretty pog fan interaction, honestly. S'mores dip that looks like Danny. Fuck, it does. It does. It's got like gray hair and everything. Honestly, this looks more like Danny than a lot of other lookalikes. It's weirder because that's a graham cracker. Great observation. Yo, it's kind of weird that that thing looks like Danny because that's not a person. That's kind of tight. This should be my new profile picture. I should just kind of edit eyes and a mouth onto this and make this my new profile picture. I could change my second channel name to S'more Danny. Like S'more Danny. And then I could make my profile picture a little graham cracker. Okay, all right, okay, so this was the source of a lot of controversy in this video about bad games. In the game, I got mad that the game developer referred to this, what I would call the second floor, as the first floor. And I got a bunch of comments saying, Danny, in other countries besides America that speak English, we call the second floor the first floor. So the game developer probably wasn't American. And so this person posted on my subreddit this picture, know the difference, American English, okay, look, and British English. And while I would call this the first floor, the Brits would call it the ground floor. And then they would call the next floor the first floor. And so it's all offset by one. You could see fourth floor over here and third floor over here. Yeah, even in French, you would call the first floor a rez-de-chaussée. I definitely pronounced that right. Yeah, it's just a rez-de-chaussée, man. Meaning ground floor. The first floor is le premier étage, meaning first level. Let me just comment on this, okay? I'm glad people brought this to my attention, you know. I admit I can be uncultured at times. I do find it kind of interesting that I didn't know this because I did live in England for 2 years, but it was like when I was 8 and 9, so I don't know, how many times was I talking about floors and buildings back then? They wouldn't let me up onto the second floor in a building. Back then I was 8 years old. I'm glad that you brought this to my attention. It's good to know. That being said, even now knowing this, I still think it's wrong. Sorry, it's objectively not the correct floor. This is the first floor. I feel like people are arguing that's not a floor. The floors don't start until you get up here to an elevated floor, and that's a floor. But you know how I know this one's a floor? It's because even British people call it the ground floor. It's a floor, and it's the first one. You walk into it, there's a floor. The floor. And in fact, it's the first one you see
when you walk into the building. And listen, guys, I fuck with the metric system, okay? I wish that the US would use kilometers. Miles suck ass, I'll say it. Miles in distance, miles teller. Fuck every miles. But this just doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. This is not the first floor. If you're gonna call this the first floor, you gotta call the ground floor something else. You gotta call it just the ground. I would honestly fuck with that. But then you would have to make the requirement that when you walk into the ground, that the floor is just like grass or dirt or something. Yeah, this is just the ground. We may be inside, but it's just ground in here, and you have to go upstairs to get to the floor. That's what I was thinking as well. I was a little confused when first visiting the UK as far as elevators went because of this difference, even though I was aware of it beforehand. It just throws you off a little. So it sounds like this person's kind of on my side. It is confusing, right? Wait, the US counts the ground floor as the first floor? Are you guys actively trying to do things differently from everyone else? Listen, take it easy, man. It makes a little bit more sense, you gotta admit. I can get behind kilometers. I can even get behind Celsius. I wish that when somebody told me it was 20 degrees Celsius, I wish I knew what that meant. But you gotta start on the first floor. It's the first one. It's like you guys made up a 0th floor. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'm gonna be done ranting about this now. I'm honestly getting too angry. Okay, Andrew Tate posted a video about me. Let's take a peek. It looks like this is gonna be really enlightening. I don't know, do I even want to respond to this? I just feel like this guy, he's got like a little bit too much attention now. He's like been on big podcasts now. I think we can kind of just let him slowly fade out now. Whoa, okay, what's this? A guide to whether people are completely crazy or pretty normal or objective or goofy. So you have the normal to crazy axis or the objective to goofy axis. Is goofy the opposite of objective? Opposite of objective. Biased, partial, or prejudice. I mean, I guess I'm glad you didn't put me this far on the prejudice side of the quadrant. So yeah, I guess goofy works better. There's a lot of people on this list. So I'm pretty goofy, but between being crazy and normal, I'm more normal than I am a complete wackadoo. Okay, and then you got Drew over here, and he's about the same amount of normal I am, but he's more objective, and I'm very biased, I guess. Curtis is even more biased and more crazy. That dude, I think, needs to reel it in, I guess. Do I agree with these rankings? I mean, I guess so. I'm just trying to figure out how to read this. It's surprising this has so many upvotes, because I can't even really decipher what the metrics are here. Is this axis like my personality wise, and then this axis more like my content wise, or like my critical analysis wise? So Jarvis is the most objective and normal person you could imagine. Then on the opposite end of the spectrum, Curtis is sort of the opposite of Jarvis. He's inverse Jarvis. Then you have like Cody over here being the inverse Ted. And Chad is perfectly centered, which I love that for her. I mean, I guess yeah, I broadly agree with it. Like, you know, Curtis, his editing is pretty off the rails. He likes to really go crazy with that, so... Oh, fuck. My life was truly changed by Horse Game. Oh, I love when YouTube comes up with this little survey about a YouTube video you just watched. I've always kind of wondered like how they use this. Like, do I get promoted more if people check more of these boxes? Or like, I kind of have to imagine if you checked every one of these boxes, YouTube would be like, okay, you're just like BSing me. There's no way it was useful, informative, and calming. So I like that you checked everything except enjoyable. This was heartwarming, life-changing, inspiring. Didn't really fuck with it. Definitely wouldn't recommend this to a friend. 5 stars, it was excellent, had an awful time. Low key though, this video was honestly the most fun I've had making a video in a really long time. Just kind of like getting a little creative with it, with all the different like locations and stuff. It was really fun. I will say that I think I got a little bit too carried away. So I filmed all of me actually playing the games in front of the green screen like before VidCon. And then I was like, yeah, I'll probably just like edit all that together and then that will be the video. And then the more I like watched it and I was like kind of thinking about it during VidCon, I was like, I feel like I should like add in like narration and stuff. Otherwise it's just gonna be like a lot of me just like playing games and that's not gonna be very interesting. I like wrote all of this dialogue but then by the time I got back from VidCon, I had 1 day to like finish this video. So I had to film all of it and then edit all of it in like a night. I didn't finish filming until like 7 p.m. the evening before it was supposed to go live. And then I ended up pulling an all-nighter the night that I was editing it. And I finished the video around 11 a.m., I think, and scheduled it to go live at noon or 1 or whatever. And then I just fucking went to sleep. It was actually kind of fun. I was like feeling very like creatively fulfilled from working on this video. Because it basically was just a commentary video, but it was a little bit more
Spicy. It was a little more spicy. It seemed like people liked it, so that's epic. What gives people feelings of power? Money, status, or ghosting Kevin Jonas? Kind of impressed that enough people have felt that before to even make this bar graph. That's kind of fucked up for Kevin, honestly. I feel bad now. Can I just say something? The funniest thing about this song, first off, I wrote this song like 2 years ago and I've just been like waiting for an excuse to make the music video for it. Even when I wrote the song, I was like, gosh, I hope I'm remembering this right. Like this was like 5 years ago. Did this really happen? And then someone on Twitter started retweeting this tweet. It now only has like 6 retweets and 11 quote retweets, but it's me tweeting at Kevin Jonas saying, hey dude, did you get my response? And I saw this and I was like, what? Okay, first off, I have no recollection of tweeting this like 7 years ago or whatever, but did Kevin Jonas ghost me? Did I just misremember this whole entire thing? I feel so dumb, but I'm pretty sure that I did ghost Kevin Jonas. I think that this tweet either happened like in the immediate conversation we were having or something where he initially reached out, and then the story's a bit longer than what was in the song. Obviously, I didn't have time to explain the whole thing, but we were talking for a little bit, and then eventually I ghosted him before I ended up helping him with the song. I think that this happened somewhere in there where I was just kind of like waiting for him to respond. I specifically remember telling my friends after I ghosted Kevin Jonas around this time that that's kind of crazy. I ghosted a Jonas brother. So I remember saying that at the time. So I think I did. This also could have been after I ghosted him for a while, and then maybe I did end up responding, but like weeks later. And so I like texted him back then and I was like, hey, sorry, like, can I still help or something? And then he didn't respond to that. And so that's why I sent this. But yeah, funny, the things you don't remember, man. 7 years will really fuck up your memory. Making a Google slide presentation to convince my dad to buy me a pet rat. Added this at the end, thoughts. Number 9, it's what Danny would want. Danny Gonzalez is a rat lover. Okay, rat lover sounds like a little bit romantic. I would maybe rephrase that. He would want you to buy me rats. Danny would be very disappointed if you decided not to buy me rats. I think you should buy me rats. And then there's a quote from me saying, I, Danny Gonzalez, think it is a good idea for you to buy your son Connor a pet rat. He actually said this. Now, at the time you wrote this, that wasn't true, but as of right now, it is true. I did just say that. So I'll let it slide. Well, I hope that this helps you buy the rat. Heck, if you're still working on this Google slide, take the audio of me just saying that line and put it on that slide. That'll get you a rat. Speaking of rats and rat lovers, have you guys ever seen that dumb clip of Jordan Peterson talking about rats?
The rats are all like this. The rat goes like this. So the rat's like this. The normal rat is like this. That's the normal rat. Like this. Like this. It sniffs.
I hope you get your rats. I hope they're normal. I hope they go like this. And good luck to you. This is somebody having some sort of AI conversation, but not in the same app that I was. What is this? What is the deal with Hollywood? I have no idea, but some people believe that it is run by a cabal of elites. Do they sacrifice children? I'm not sure, but I do know there is a lot of child trafficking going on. What the fuck is this AI? I'm not even that weirded out by the info it's giving, because it's probably just trained on Wikipedia random forums and stuff, and that's where it gets its info from, so it's just like pulling things from the internet. But I like that every response has the same template where that you ask them a question and they're like, I don't know about that, but, and then they say something even crazier. This person said, what is the deal with Hollywood? And they said, I don't know what you mean by that, but it is run by the Illuminati, and I know that for certain. Do they sacrifice children? I don't know about that, but there's a lot of child trafficking going on. They're drinking the blood of children. Man, I gotta find out what app this is. Compared to the conversations I was having with Baseball Louie, these are pretty spicy. Oh yeah, I met a lot of people at Curtis's show. There I am again. I swear to you, this is the very first conversation I had with my virtual boyfriend. Okay, wait, how are people finding these different AI virtual boyfriend apps? This is also not the same app. You have good stories. I have a few. I can tell you all about them if you'd like. Go for it. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Julia and she was very shy. What happened next? She was a girl who loved sweets. What was her favorite tweet? Okay, who's the AI here? Is it you or him? She loved to have sweets all over her body. Okay, now this I'm into. Keep going. Holy cow. Where are you guys finding these AI bots? I'll probably do another video like that where I look for more like games and stuff on the App Store to try, so yeah, maybe I should find some more of these AI bots. Whoa! You guys remember the user Toe Slurper? I think I found his car. Toe Sucker. Hell yeah, I suck toes. I love feet. Show me your toes. Wow. So this is Toe Slurper. What was the comment that Toe Slurpers left on my subreddit again? Didn't he say he wasn't in theater? Why are you trying to start fake rumors about me, Toe Slurper? Okay, here's a fun little meme. Hard to swallow pills. Danny Danny is not real. Yeah, man, that sucks. I'm sorry. This is kind of an interesting topic. The fastest things on Earth: cheetah, airplane, speed of light, Danny Gonzalez hair cells. I'm not sure if this is referring to this, but I was kind of wondering if anyone would notice, because I feel like between this video and this video, my hair, over the span of like a week or two, grew immensely fast. Okay, so look at my hair in this video, May 29th, 2022. And then look at this video, June 10th, 10 or 11 days later. My hair is huge. Now, I have an explanation for this, but you're not gonna like it. It's a wig. No. The real reason is that I shot the videos like way out of order, because I filmed the Camp Rock video and I was like, I'm gonna put the Kevin Jonas music video at the end of this, but then the Kevin Jonas music video took like 2 months to film. So I don't remember when I shot the actual commentary part of the Camp Rock video, but it was like at least 2 months before I released it. So that's why my hair length gets a little inconsistent sometimes, guys. I just, you know, kind of get a little bit, kind of. I think I gotta go to sleep, man. I think this video's long enough. All right, I'm gonna go to sleep. Have a great day. Hello, Greg. Why are movie studios making bad movies on purpose? I swear to God they are. I'm sure most of us by now have seen clips from the new Pinocchio movie.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
And that had me pretty skeptical, honestly. You're trying to tell me they made it and they were like, the main selling point of this movie is that it will be good? No chance. And now I've recently seen people talking about this movie, Marmaduke. It's about a cartoon dog, voiced by Pete Davidson. It has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've watched it, and it is in fact the worst movie you'll see this year. And it just really seems like they're trying to make bad movies on purpose. This movie is just heinous. It feels like Netflix just like fed an AI a bunch of scripts of bad movies until it spat out Marmaduke. This movie is not good at all. I think it has 0 redeeming qualities, actually. There's nothing good in this movie. I would even give it a negative score if I could. I like that I said that as if there's something stopping me. I'm my own entity. I'm not limited. I don't have a boss telling me I have to give it a positive score. I'm gonna give it a -6 out of 10. Begin with a narration from Pete Davidson himself, who could not sound less interested in explaining the exposition of this movie. Marmaduke was some fucking dog, dude. I don't care. I'm dating a Kardashian, man. You think I need this? I personally don't have a problem with Pete Davidson. He's a funny guy. He was not up to the task of being the main character in this movie. This is a cartoon dog. You need someone with like a crazy range. Pete Davidson's emotions range from high and pleased down to high and indifferent. That's about all the variety you're gonna get out of Pete Davidson. After watching the movie all the way through, I'm not even 100% sure that Pete Davidson even knows he's in this movie. I haven't seen Pete Davidson do any promotion for this movie. I don't think he's done interviews talking about, you know, getting into the role of Marmaduke. I would not be surprised if they just like took audio excerpts of Pete Davidson from like other TV shows and just like found a way to make a movie about a dog around them. Go ahead and look at the characters in this first scene here and tell me, what is your reaction? Art is subjective. What you like depends entirely on your life experience, your personal taste, you know, where you were born and raised. For example, I was born in the 1990s on Earth, and I hate every single one of these characters. There are 3 body shapes in the universe of Marmaduke. There is eerily slender, bouncing egg. That's right, they don't walk, the round characters. They just kind of bounce from place to place. And then there's Mom. Mom has a serious case of the Pixar mom syndrome. I guess the creators of Marmaduke decided to take a page out of Pixar's book when designing the mom, and then they ignored all the other pages in the book about like how to make a movie. Anyway, through a little bit of narration, we find out that the reason Marmaduke is not allowed at this party is because he's basically a terror to the family. Marmaduke is a nightmare. He chases the cat, he tackles the local butcher for some bones, he beats the shit out of the dad. This dog is terrorizing his family. This is a bad boy. Guy, being like a world famous dog trainer, sees Marmaduke, this poorly behaved monster, and decides, hey, this would be kind of an interesting challenge for me to transform Marmaduke into like a good boy. At first I thought this guy was gonna be the villain of the movie because he's like rich and British, and I think that it's the law in cartoons that the bad guy has to be rich and British, but this guy is actually, he's not that bad. He's a little greedy, but he's not the bad guy. So Guy goes over to Marmaduke's house and talks to the owners and is like, hey, if you let me train your dog and enter him into like dog competition,
competitions, we could win $1 million, and I'll share the $1 million with you, which is actually a very nice thing for a rich British man to do in a cartoon. The family says yes, so Marmaduke gets to train with this experienced, highly awarded, rich, and famous dog trainer. And they start training right away. Or actually, sorry, Marmaduke doesn't want to train at all, so the trainer starts beating the shit out of Marmaduke.
That's enough for today.
That's enough for today? You didn't do anything. You just hurt a dog. You didn't teach him any tricks. He doesn't even know how to sit. All right, the first trick we're gonna learn today is how to dodge a punch. Okay, it looks like you didn't get it today, but we'll try again tomorrow, okay, buddy? Anyway, I guess after showing Marmaduke how violent he is and all of his, like, cool martial arts skills, Marmaduke is like, wait, actually, maybe I do want to get trained by this guy. And they make it seem like it's because, like, Marmaduke is so impressed. I personally think it's because Marmaduke is so scared. He does agree to finally be trained, so cue Marmaduke getting trained montage. Or, sorry, Marmaduke getting tortured montage. Yeah, that's right. Before Marmaduke agreed to get trained, Guy just beat the shit out of Marmaduke. But now that Marmaduke has agreed to be trained, he is still getting beat up, but just in new and fancy ways. This movie is essentially about a dog who loves to eat and suffers greatly for it. You know what is one thing that's unclear about this movie? Can Marmaduke talk? Earlier in the movie, Marmaduke was trying to talk to the people and all they could hear was barking sounds.
You're being too hard on poor
But then Marmaduke and Guy seem to have full conversations. So who is speaking the other one's language? Is Marmaduke speaking English? Or is the trainer barking at Marmaduke? Like if you were to walk by the park where Guy is training Marmaduke, is Guy just going like, arr, arr, arr? This movie is completely uninterested in answering this question. It's time for Marmaduke to enter his first dog show. This is where we meet Marmaduke's main competition and basically the villain of the movie, this beautiful dog Zeus. It only gets worse. Marmaduke flies through the air, lands on the trophy for the dog competition, and he farts, and he shits, and he farts so hard that I thought he might be dying. He gets onto the trophy and like goes from plump to shriveled up like a raisin. He shrivels up into a little doggy skeleton. The dog is very sick. The dog should be rushed to the hospital immediately after this, actually. The cloud of his fart gas like envelops the entire crowd. People are screaming. I think he might have killed people, honestly. This is just an awful scene. I don't know why the writers thought that this would be fun. For anyone, even for kids, it's like, is your dog pooping in the wrong spot ever that funny? I don't think I've ever like come home and my dog is like pooped somewhere she wasn't supposed to and been like, that's hilarious. That's actually good one, Sunday. Dude, you fucking killed it. I should be mad, but that's actually mad funny. To be fair, if I did have like a comically big trophy in my house and I came home and the dog had pooped in the trophy, that actually might be kind of funny. But not if she was also like sitting on top of the trophy as like a shriveled up skeleton and my house was full of noxious gas.
That was a disgrace.
This movie's getting kind of dark. This is a really somber, like, middle section of a children's movie. He's not a loser! It just turns into Marriage Story. Marmaduke is a Great Dane! Then come to find out that the trainer has actually billed them for all of the training, and it's like a shit ton of money. They go through the list, and it rolls by in this like Star Wars style credit roll, and it's meant to fly by really fast so you can't read anything, but I paused it just to like look through what some of it is. Some of the items on this list are more than the $1 million they would have won at the final dog show. There's things for $29,000, $35,000, $1.4 million. Also kind of a funny detail, the writers I guess couldn't come up with enough things to actually make the list that long, so they just literally copied and pasted the same chunk over and over. So if you just play it, you'll see like the same thing worth $1.5 million over and over in this list, and it's like you couldn't just keep coming up with different numbers at least? Are not a champion. So Marmaduke is like, you know what, screw it, I don't need you, and he decides to set off on a journey to show him what a real champion can do. He runs to China, and then he runs to Egypt, and then he swims in the ocean, and then he goes home. And I guess that's pretty much all the training he needs. I don't know why he is still so focused on the dog show after that. Marmaduke's like, yeah, I climbed to the top of Mount Everest and then swam to the bottom of the ocean so that I could hopefully compete in an obedience competition at a regional level. I hope that I do okay. It's like, no, all of the things you did just then are like infinitely more impressive than a dog show. At least that's what I thought until we get to the dog show and we see what other dogs do during the talent portion. Okay, Okay, so the bulldog is winning the talent competition. The bulldog is winning the whole show. Forget about the other dogs for a second. There is no way that Marmaduke can do anything near that impressive. I know he ran around the world, but I mean, he just ran and swam. This dog lifted up a convention center. The other dog's not quite as impressive. One of the dogs dances, pretty lame. And another dog did like a half fight, half rap in like a magical bubble environment. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know there was magic in this universe. They just decided to spring that on us in the last like 20 minutes of the movie. But I just don't understand how they were able to continue the competition after the bulldog lifted up the building. If I was in the crowd, I would be on my hands and knees crying after that. I don't think that it's fair to continue the show. Okay, Zeus actually hypnotizes the crowd. That's actually pretty impressive. Yet another use of magic. I like that they're really doubling down on that in the third act of this movie. Also, I'm getting a lot of parallels from the Disney Channel original movie Zapped in this movie. Although I don't think anyone beat the shit out of a dog in that movie. Also, hang on a second. If hypnosis exists in this universe and it is like a thing that can be done effectively, why the hell did the trainer need to beat the fuck out of Marmaduke? If in this world it's possible to mentally make a dog do whatever you want, what sick thrill did Guy get out of assaulting Marmaduke? It's almost like that wasn't even training and he just, like, what if he did hypnotize him and then he was like, and now the rest of this is just for me. Anyway, it's time for Marmaduke's portion of the talent show. Now, everything else up until this point is so insane that, like, anything Marmaduke could do, even if he did something really cool, would be kind of underwhelming. But, like, even with that in mind, Marmaduke just does the dumbest shit. His boy owner gets on his back and they just, like, run around the stadium. I'm sorry, Marmaduke, but that was not impressive at all. We literally all just saw magic happen. We saw a bulldog lift up a building. I know I keep mentioning that, but that was insane. We all just saw an entire crowd get hypnotized by a creepy blonde dog, and Marmaduke's like, yeah, but can you do this? Are you trying to bankrupt your family, Marmaduke? Because that's what's gonna happen if you keep this shit up. Are you trying to destroy your family's lives? You're going to. Keep dicking around on the ground like that with no talent, and you're gonna destroy their lives. It's happened before, it'll happen again. Okay, a little plot twist happens at the end of the dog show. Zeus, the beautiful dog, wins. Obviously, he hypnotized the judges, so we kind of thought that was gonna happen anyway, but it turns out that one of the judges is actually Zeus's trainer in disguise, so he gets disqualified from the talent competition. I kind of feel like it was pretty dumb of him to do that because he had a shot at winning anyway. It's not like he was like a total underdog. Dude was basically an overdog. He was actually bound to win. He hypnotized everybody. That Marmaduke dead?
Marmaduke was a good dog.
What the fuck, dude?
We will miss you very much.
Okay, they're spending way too long on this if he's not actually dead. He should have come back alive by now, probably.
Is there still time to hit the awards banquet?
Jesus Christ, dude. You have to admit, if he did die, that would be objectively the funniest ending to this movie. Marmaduke doesn't win the dog show, and then he dies. And then everyone's really sad, and then the movie ends. In my head, when this was happening, the first time I watched this, I was like, please roll credits, please roll credits. It would be so fucking funny if Marmaduke dies. Oh, fuck, he's alive. Anyways, if this movie couldn't get any worse, it ends with an original song by Pete Davidson about being a dog.
I'm the biggest dog around, the greatest Dane in the whole darn town, but my family doesn't understand. I gotta eat, it's my command.
Did they give Pete Davidson 40 seconds to write this song? All right, Pete, it's time to record the ending song. What ending song? You guys didn't tell me there was gonna be an ending song. I don't know, man, you tell us. Hit it. All right, well, yeah, that's Marmaduke. Let me know what you thought, and now it's time to talk about our sponsor. Hello. Guys, did you know in the US it's legal for your internet service provider to sell your data to other companies? They can sell it to ad companies. Heck, they can sell it to whoever they want. This seems pretty screwed up to me. I don't know why this is legal, but what I do know is that Marmaduke is probably responsible. Luckily, today's sponsor, ExpressVPN, puts a stop to this by rerouting 100% of your network traffic through their secure encrypted servers. Those are servers that are both secure and encrypted. ExpressVPN also masks your device's unique IP address, making it much more difficult for like big tech companies or advertisers or really strong dogs from tracking you and matching your activity back to you so they can collect your data. There's a ton of great reasons to use ExpressVPN. You can unblock content that's not available in your country. For example, the movie Whiplash is not available on Netflix in the US, but with ExpressVPN, if you change your server location to the UK, it is available. They have 24/7 customer support, the fastest speeds, consistently faster than other VPNs, and it's easy to use. You can fire it up and get going with just one click. I've got ExpressVPN on my computer and my phone, pretty much every device that can have it in my house. So find out how you can get 3 months for free by visiting expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out our sponsor. Please get out from under my desk. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Is that in focus at all? Greg, join Greg. Greg is what I call my fans here on YouTube, my fan base, my audience. But we're more than that, you know? We're a family, we're an army. We are one guy named Greg. So if you want to join, then turn on my notifications and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? Today we are going to be watching the Disney Channel original movie Zombies, which is by far the strangest allegory for racism in America I have ever seen. It's about humans living side by side with a community of zombies, the fictional, terrifying, flesh-eating monsters. Guess which one is the minorities in this metaphor? Most Disney Channel movies start off in pretty much the exact same way. Some variation of a not so popular kid getting ready for their first day of school. There's bland pop music playing in the background, or maybe they're getting ready for their last day of school. There's bland pop music playing in the background. But this movie was actually a really nice change of pace from that. The whole intro to this movie is actually a fun little cartoon about how 50 years ago in the town of Seabrook, a power plant exploded, turning half the town's population into zombies that started killing and eating people. Bland pop music playing in the background. No, just kidding. It's horror music. Children are dying. Luckily for our main character, Zed, a zombie, in the present day, things have changed a lot, and zombies are not as dangerous as they once were. Even though they're still walled off from the rest of the town, they have to live in the slums and wear government-issued clothes, they do no longer have the urge to murder people, and that's thanks to a device called the Z-Band.
This puppy delivers a dose of soothing electromagnetic pulses that keep us from eating brains.
So the Z-Band makes this movie a really weird zombie movie. Half the characters are zombies, but because of the Z-Band, they don't have the urge to kill people. Doesn't that just make them people with green hair? And it's probably right about now you're starting to realize how this movie is a metaphor for racism. It's just weird to make a movie about zombies where the zombies aren't even zombies. They're just like regular guys with pale skin and green hair.
We've come a long way since the outbreak. Thanks to the Z-Band.
I have a lot of questions about this situation. Firstly, when was the Z-Band invented? Like, how long ago? Was it during Zed's lifetime? Is Zed the first Disney Channel original movie character to have eaten another human being? Or was that Kevin Jonas in Camp Rock? Dude was weird, I wouldn't be surprised. Zed is super excited because today is the first day that the zombies are going to be allowed to go to the human school.
Today's the first day we can attend human high school. And I get to try out for the football team.
Kind of fucked up they call it the human school because the zombies, as we just learned, are also humans. Also, the fact that they are just now being allowed to attend the human school does lend credibility to my theory that the Z-Band was just recently invented and Zed has tasted human flesh. He's especially excited to try out for the football team, so he's giving us a narration, he's really excited, he's getting ready for school.
And I get to try out for the football team.
Bland pop music playing in the background, okay. And then we meet our other main character, Addison.
Hi, I'm Addison.
Hi. So Addison lives on the other side of town, the human side of town, where everybody is normal. So normal, in fact, that everybody on this side of town hates anyone who's even a little bit different. Which means if you're a zombie, obviously they're not gonna like you, but even little differences. If you walk a little weird, they're gonna hate you. If your hair is a weird color, they're gonna hate you. But she's your classic decom popular girl. She's blonde, she's a cheerleader, she's excited for her first day of high school because she's gonna be trying out for the cheerleading team. But she has one dark secret. Actually, it's one light secret. It's that her hair is white.
I'm a totally normal teen. Well, except for this. Born with it. Doctors can't explain it.
Yeah, me too. Doctors can't explain mine either. They say it's maybe a sign that I'm super talented or special or something. I don't know.
People here hate anything that's different. If anyone outside my family found out I wore a wig, I would never be allowed to cheer.
These people need to get their priorities straight, man. There's monsters that live in your town. How do you have the time to hate on a 14-year-old with light hair? Aren't you worried about your babies getting eaten?
That's my little sister Zoe. She really wants a dog, but zombies aren't allowed to have pets. Some people still think we'll eat them.
I think that's A little justified, I think. I don't know. Don't you guys eat people? So now it's almost time for Zed and Addison's first day of school, but not before. This movie surprises you with the fact that it's a musical. You had no fucking clue, did you? So all of the songs in this movie suck ass. They are very forgettable, not catchy at all, but we do get a decent amount of lore in this first song. For example, the zombies have their own language.
He just dropped that in Zombie.
Didn't the power plant accident happen 50 years ago? When did they have time to come up with a whole language? Also, there are radical zombies like Zed's friend Eliza.
Let me introduce you to my friend Eliza.
We'll never be accepted. Zombies need to rise up. Fight the good fight. Stand for what's right.
I like this radical zombie. She's spitting facts. They do deserve to be treated better. After all, they are just people with green hair. I am kind of curious as to what she means when she says rise up.
Zombies need to rise up. Fight the good fight. Stand for what's right.
Fight the good fight, eat the humans, and all their dogs and cats, and their kids. This song ends with what might be the most tasteless scene in any DCOM, as Disney harkens back to historic imagery of schools in the South desegregating for the first time. You know what I'm talking about. We've all seen the pictures in the history books where there's the oppressed group and the oppressive group on either side of a fence, and they're all singing and dancing about how this is gonna be their year. Yeah, it's a fucking crazy scene, because in case you didn't catch my sarcasm, this is not at all how desegregation went. To whitewash it like it was all just people singing and dancing with a fence in between is absolutely insane. Now, you might be thinking, gross. Valid. But you might also be thinking, hey, everyone here is dancing and smiling about how great this year is gonna be. It seems like all the humans are pretty stoked to have the zombies entering their school, right? Wrong. All the humans hate the zombies. Even the cheerleaders.
They're just going to school like us.
Like us? Those freaks are nothing like us.
The zombies have to take classes in the basement. They're not even allowed up to the actual school. And if they somehow make it up into the halls of the school, there's a zombie alarm that goes off and everyone freaks out. So I don't even understand why this scene is in the movie where everyone is so happy. All the humans are looking across the fence with hope in their eyes. Doesn't even make sense in the context of the movie. What happened between then and now?
It's my time. This is gonna be my year.
Spoiler alert, this year is not gonna be Zed's year. The first day of school is pretty much a disaster for Zed. As I said, he's not allowed up into the regular school, let alone to the football tryouts. But he ends up trying to sneak out to go to them anyway, and he gets caught.
Wait, what?
He ends up hiding in the very poorly designed zombie safe room. It's a room where you're supposed to be safe from zombies, but Zed was like, oh, zombie safe room. I'll be safe in here, hell yeah. And this is where he meets Addison for the first time.
Hello?
Hello?
So since Addison can't see Zed right now, she obviously doesn't know that he's a zombie. I will say it's still kind of a terrifying situation. Oh fuck, I was worried there was gonna be a zombie in here. Good thing it's just a faceless shadow figure. Now I don't have to be scared anymore.
My dad doesn't even think I'm gonna make the team.
What? No, sure you will. You just need someone to cheer for you. And soon, fingers crossed, he'll be like, my job.
Okay, now she's kind of flirting with the faceless shadow figure. She's like, as long as you're not a zombie, I'm cool with you. This is literally a scene out of like a horror movie. I don't know why she's so comfortable being in a room with this guy she's never met before, completely engulfed in shadows. If you were to change out the music in the scene to horror music, it would make a lot more sense.
I'm Zed. What's your name?
Addison, nice to meet you. All clear.
And just like that, a Romeo and Juliet-esque love story starts to unfold, which always begs the question, is this gonna end like Romeo and Juliet? Because if not, stop doing Romeo and Juliet ripoffs, all right? If you're not gonna go all the way and make them kill themselves or each other at the end, no more Romeo and Juliet. I want Zed to eat her at the end of this movie. Otherwise, it's no good. Not a good love story. I want him to eat her Kevin Jonas style. I assume that guy was weird in that movie. We can all agree.
My parents have always hated zombies since one bit my grandpa's ear off.
But now we'll just talk your ear off.
Okay. Hold on, I get it. I know where this movie's going. They reference the fact that her grandpa was bit but not killed by a zombie. And we all know what happens when you get bit by a zombie. You turn into a zombie. But maybe the grandpa was bit so little that that he just turned part zombie. And so Addison is actually a tiny percent zombie. And that's why her hair is white, and that's why doctors can't explain it, and that's why nobody can explain it, and that's also why my hair is turning white. Nothing gets by me, man. I figured out the twist of this movie before we're even freaking 10 minutes in. Addison is immediately found by her cousin Bucky, who's the captain of the cheerleading team. He's basically like the driving force of this like whole anything different is bad in this movie. So he finds Addison in here. He's pissed because Addison was talking to a zombie, and they escort her out of there ASAP because they have some hazing to do.
Egg that zombie house, and you're both officially one of us.
What? No, we can't do that.
You look lost.
Are zombies always this harassed? I had no idea life was like this for them.
You punched him in the face. What are you talking about? Are they always this harassed? The only time you've ever come face to face with one, you got violent so fast. Also, we watched you see the fence. We all saw you stare through the fence that was keeping them away from the other students. You did the narration about the zombie apocalypse and the giant wall they put up at the beginning of the movie.
But we built a big barrier.
You fucking liar, you knew. The next day at school, there's a pep rally that the zombies are actually invited to. This pisses Bucky, the cheer captain, off big time. Bucky, again, is a major zombie phobe, so when the zombies are allowed at the pep rally, Bucky comes up with a way to embarrass them all.
Stacy, Lacey, Tracy, bust out the spirit sticks.
Bust out the spirit sticks? That's disgusting, dude. There's kids here. So apparently, even though the Z-Band works wonders on curbing the zombies' urge to eat human flesh, the one thing it doesn't fix is how terrified zombies are of fire. Is that really common zombie lore? I didn't know it was like a thing that all zombies in movies are scared of fire, but I guess they're really playing with that trope. That's that classic stereotype about zombies. So when the pep rally gets going, Bucky busts out the spirit sticks, which are basically just sparklers, and boy, does it scare the zombies.
Let everyone see them for who they really are.
Let everyone see them for who they really are? Dude, they eat people. What a crazy plan. You don't want to see who they really are, man. He gets mauled by the zombies and they start like ripping him to shreds and eating his body. Told you so. Looks like I'm right again. The fire sends Zed's friend into a fit of fucking rage, dude. He pushes over Zed, knocks him to the ground. Apparently that push makes Zed's Z-Band start to malfunction, and Zed starts turning into an actual zombie. He starts going freak mode at the pep rally. Holy shit! Oh, nice. Look at the crowd, dude. They're going wild. How is this a standing ovation moment? The zombies caused this whole thing, as far as anyone knows. And Zed helped, kind of. He saved one person and likely paralyzed two others. Are we not going to talk about those two people he killed? By my math, that's a net negative. Don't clap for that. Also, holy shit, dude. Do not let this kid on the football team. If his Z-Band malfunctions that easily just by hitting the ground and he starts to turn into a zombie, do not let him play football. He's gonna eat his own team. So this scene is absolutely bonkers, and after watching it, I'm sorry, I just have to say it, and I hope you'll agree. Not only is this a bad zombie movie, it's also a terrible metaphor for racism. The best metaphor for racism that Disney could come up with is like, what if there was a group of people that we treated differently just because they look a little bit different, and also because they could snap on a dime and eat your family? That would be wrong, but we do it here in America every day. Yeah! Wait, so this coach sees Zed's insane display of athleticism and asks him to join the football team.
With a monster-like monster player like you, we could turn the football team around.
Okay, Zed, remember, at the slightest impact, your Z-Band could malfunction and you could kill people. Do not join the football team. Do not join the football team. Do not join the football team.
Who's the zombie? I'm the zombie, and this zombie's playing some ball.
No! So Zed joins the football team under the condition that as long as he keeps winning, the zombies can be integrated into the school more and more.
Once you start racking in those wins, then we'll talk about those other demands, all right?
Meaning that not only is Zed on the football team, he now gets to sit in the cafeteria.
In good faith, I will allow zombies to eat in the cafeteria.
In the next scene, Addison tries to go up to Zed to talk to him, flirt a little bit more, but she ends up getting dragged away by the other cheerleaders who lecture her about how it's not okay to be different.
I'm not different.
Your smile. Is that an overbite?
Is one leg longer than the other?
super corrective lenses?
Do you have the tallest hair anyone's ever seen? That would be embarrassing. We'd hate to find out you have an absurdly different hairstyle. We would hate to find out that sometimes when you get a good idea, you say, think, brain blast. Oh boy, the school would have a field day with that one. So Addison's not really allowed to hang out with Zed in public, which leads them to hang out in the zombie safe room where they first met, where they proceed to sing yet another forgettable, very bland song.
We're gonna be someday.
Usually I'm down for like at least 1 or 2 songs out of every Disney Channel movie that has music, but this movie has terrible music. This song is like if you mix Love is an Open Door from Frozen with a knockoff Chainsmokers song and Yummy by Justin Bieber.
Girl, you look delicious. Oh, I mean gorgeous.
Hey Zed, that's actually not fucking funny to joke about. You have eaten people. So it's time for Zed to play in the first football game of the season. It starts off not going very well because Zed's Z-band is just in normal mode. He hasn't activated freak mode yet, but he doesn't want to lose all the new privileges that the zombies have been awarded. So he's like, shit, what can I do? So he convinces Eliza, who's kind of a computer nerd, to hack his Z-band and turn him like halfway to full zombie. And now he's ready to rock, baby.
Dumb luck.
Dumb luck? Why are they surprised that Zed would be strong and fast? Isn't that why they were afraid of zombies in the first place? That's their whole thing, is that they're scary and strong. Were they saying this in the midst of the zombie invasion too? Like somebody's kid gets eaten by a zombie and they're like, dumb luck, beginner's luck. I'd like to see you do that again. And then they do it again. He is going insanely hard though. He's punching the other players. He's not even tackling them. He just murders the opposing team. Do teams from other towns know about the zombies? Because they make it seem like it's something that only happened in Seabrook. Imagine how confused you'd be if you showed up for an away game at another school and they're like, all right, bring out the quarterback, and this fucking freak comes out and starts doing this to people. It'd be like a horror movie, dude. What the fuck is wrong with that guy? He looks sick. He broke Frank. Zed's doing so good at football now that the zombies are getting all sorts of privileges. They actually take down the fence that we saw at the beginning of the movie. Wait, who the fuck is that? Who was that? What was that guy? The guy moving the fence. One of them's a zombie because all zombies have green hair. That guy is not a zombie. Later in the movie, they're like, oh yeah, that was a troll. There's humans, there's zombies. The humans hate the zombies. And then there's trolls. And everybody fucking hates the trolls, all right? Zombies at least have some redeeming qualities. Trolls have none. Trolls actually suck ass and they stink. No justice is owed to them. Even they'll tell you that they don't deserve shit. Football season continues to go great. We get the classic things are going well montage that's in every movie ever. Oh, and then Zed invites Addison to a zombie party where there is another extremely lame song, but we do get another interesting piece of zombie lore in this song, and that is that zombies are extremely bouncy. My guy is just bouncing off the floor like it's nothing, dude. He's right, I can't do that. I can't do it like he can. Such a strange piece of lore to drop at this point in the movie.
The big problem is my parents won't let me cheer until they meet you.
Great, so I'll just win them over with my quick wit and charming smile.
They don't know you're a zombie. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for making things difficult for you.
No, you haven't done anything wrong besides being you.
Doesn't that imply that being him is wrong?
You haven't done anything wrong besides being you.
You haven't done anything wrong, man. You know, besides, you know, the way that you are. Uh-oh, the bullies have found out that Zed is hacking his Z-band to make himself more zombie-like. Uh-oh, they're stealing Eliza's laptop. Uh-oh, they're hacking the Z-band. Sorry, does every Disney Channel character know how to hack a computer? There's always a character who definitely knows how to hack computers, but then it seems like when push comes to shove, everybody knows how to do it. It makes it a lot less impressive that like the nerdy computer girl knows how to do it when like the cheerleader can figure it out in a matter of seconds. Are there like computer hacking classes in every Disney Channel original movie high school? Uh-oh, they hacked all the Z-bands at the football game. The zombies are about to go full zombie. Oh no! Are we about to watch somebody get murdered? Everybody run! Oh no, here Here he comes. Kind of thought he was going to be a little faster than that. Sorry, so this is what everyone was scared of the entire time? I thought they were going to be like 28 Days Later zombies that can sprint, or like I Am Legend type zombies. They are so slow. Just leave. How is this even remotely scary in a world where cars exist? Just run them over. So the zombies get wrangled up, arrested. This guy electrocutes them or something. I swear to God, dude, the only thing that could make this scene worse is another bland ass song. God damn it. Dude, this is a batshit climax of the movie. This town was just terrorized by monsters. They don't know why the zombies turned on them. They just know that they're no longer safe. People's lives were flashing before their eyes, and the popular cheerleader bursts into song out of nowhere to tell everybody that her hair was slightly lighter than everyone thought. The song wasn't even about her at all. It was about standing up for the zombies. It's like she forgot what she was singing about halfway through the song. She was like, what am I standing up for again? Oh yeah, that's right, me. Yes, that is an appropriate reaction, thank you. The ending of this movie kind of comes out of nowhere. The cheerleading squad is performing at some kind of state or national championship, and after the zombies get out of zombie jail, some of them decide to go to the championship to try to sabotage the cheer team. But it turns out they're so bad on their own, they don't even need to be sabotaged. Okay, kind of mean. This grown adult just laughing at these kids because they're not doing well in a cheer competition. Get off the stage, Bucky! Okay, who is this guy? Are we supposed to know who this guy is? Why is he being so mean?
Let's go see the cheer!
Get off the stage, zombie!
Who is that? Why is he so mad? We've never seen this character before. Why are we focusing on his reaction so much? Anyways, the zombies decide, you know what? Let's be the bigger person. Let's help out the cheer team. We're gonna win over the humans by helping them perform the coolest cheer performance ever.
All right, here's the plan. We're gonna let our freak flags fly.
Dude, gross. There's kids here. Can't do that. Basically, they perform and everyone loves it. The crowd's going wild. They never show that one guy again, so maybe he's still pissed off, but everyone else likes it. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Oh, you wanted to know why Addison's hair is white, if they ever reveal that? If my prediction was right? Yeah, they don't do that. They never explain it at all. They set it up to be some big reveal, and then they just never talk about it. At least, not in this movie. I have heard there are 3 of these movies, and they explain it, I think, in the 3rd one. So, you gotta wait a long-ass time to figure out why her hair's white. Your hair's gonna be white by the time you find out why her hair's white. All right, well, that's the end. That's the end. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. That's what I call my followers. We're the strongest, fastest growing army on YouTube. Please do not look that up. I'll see you guys next time with a really interesting video. Bye. Hey, Greg, welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck Are Kids Watching These Days? It's not good. It's definitely not good. I think the last time I talked about a channel that's mostly just for kids was the Scherer family. They're just your average American family that's convinced that there's a monster living in the pond in their backyard. The Scherer family has been on the trending page like non-stop the past couple weeks. They had a video about whether you can cook eggs with dry ice. The answer to that was no, obviously. They've got another video that's on the trending page right now that's called I Got Her This, which is a picture of Carter giving Lizzie Scherer a red Ferrari. This video is really interesting. I watched the beginning of it. Carter brings Lizzie to this racetrack and he tells her he's got a big surprise for her.
Oh, okay, Liz is right here. Hey, Liz.
Carter, it's so hot out. What are we doing here?
Liz, I have a huge surprise for you.
What is it? Tell me.
Lizzie, of course, is curious. She's like, what is the surprise? Come on, tell me. And Carter's like, well, you know how you've always wanted one specific type of car? She's like, yeah, a red Ferrari.
Lamborghinis are cool and stuff, but Ferrari's definitely the way to go.
Ferrari, because you like that it's like red or something like that?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you can see like a bunch of red Ferraris in the background that Lizzie can also clearly see. So Carter's like, well, I got you something really special. Walk over here. So they walk over to the dozens of red Ferraris and Lizzie still somehow doesn't know what the gift is. And then he tells her to turn around and lo and behold, it's a black Porsche? No, okay, no, there's a bunch of red Ferraris there too. Okay, cool.
Oh, I like this one.
Anyway, it's a really bad video, but the reason I'm bringing the Scherers up is because I recently discovered 2 of their friends, V Quaint and Chad Wild Clay. I don't know if that's his real name. I don't know if Wild is his middle name. It sounds like something you would say to impress a girl before you like ride your bike off a cliff or something. Oh my gosh, you're so wild. Wild is my middle name, bitch. And my last name is Clay. And my first name is Chad. Here's their channel descriptions. Chad's is, I use ninja toys to slice fruit and soda. I guess you could call me a fruit ninja superhero in real life. So Chad is a bit of a real life ninja. You'll see that a little bit later on in the video. He's got the sickest gadgets, the coolest ninja spy toys. He's a very cool guy. You can tell just by looking at him. V, on the other hand, is more of a girly girl. Hi, my name is V. I like to make lifestyle hack videos for laid-back girly girls, which is great for me because I am a very laid-back girly girl. If you like fashion, makeup, and DIYs, but you don't want to spend a lot of time doing it, then you are in the right place. That's right, if you're really passionate about makeup and DIYs, like you just love it more than anything in the world, but you absolutely hate spending time on it, this is the channel for you. So the descriptions of these two channels are pretty different. You know, Chad Wild Clay is more focused on ninja gadgets. He's a real guy's guy.
Do not eat my peanut butter.
Meanwhile, V makes videos for laid-back girly girls. But they do have one thing in common, and that's that they've both been kidnapped by a hacker. That's right, over the past, I want to say 2 months, they've been on and off kidnapped by a hacker. It's sort of like this on and off relationship they have with this hacker where sometimes he's kidnapped them and locked them in an abandoned prison or in an abandoned hospital room, and sometimes they escape and they just go right back to their house and do the same shit all over again the next day. Before we jump into the real thick of the plot, I just gotta say, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you're looking to get a great domain name, build a beautiful looking website or online store, Squarespace is the place for you. You can go to squarespace.com/Danny to get 10% off your first purchase. So there's that. So all the backstory you need to know on V and Chad is that they're being sort of like chased by this hacker. He's been hacking their YouTube channel and trying to delete videos. He's apparently been doing it to other YouTubers too, but they've never actually shown any evidence of this. Just all in all, stalking them and being very creepy. So that's what you need to know going into this video. It all starts when Chad Wild Clay and V Quaint are hanging out with the Sheriff family. They're actually scuba diving for an abandoned safe and pond monster at Sheriff Fam house, exploring underwater pool. If you watched one of my other videos about the Sheriff family, you know that there was this whole other storyline with an abandoned safe. I guess Chad Wildclay is looking for another abandoned safe in this pond. I guess at the Sheriff family house, like, abandoned safes are just a dime a dozen. They grow like weeds over there. You can't look under any rock or really even take 2 steps without tripping over an abandoned safe.
Oh, there's definitely something down here. I think I found the safe.
You did?
There's something metal and square down here. Let me go down and see if I can grab it.
So this is towards the end of this video. Chad is in the water looking sick as hell, like the real ninja he is. He says he's found something that feels square and metal underwater, and he thinks it might be the abandoned safe. So let's see what he pulls up.
I got it. Oh, I got it. I got it with my hand.
Do you need my help?
It's coming up. Oh my gosh, it's really heavy. Oh, here it comes. I might need your help to pull it up. Here it is. What is this? Wait, this doesn't look like a safe.
Wait, this doesn't look like a safe. Wait, he's right, that doesn't look like a safe at all. How the fuck did he feel that underwater and think that was a safe?
Jeez, Chad, I can't believe you pulled this whole thing up.
Yeah.
And look how long it is. How did he think that was a safe? Okay. It's got like a ridged edge and it's like 6 feet long. But it is made out of metal, so it could be a safe. But what happens next is not for the faint of heart.
Hey, I think I might have found it.
Really?
I found something square and metal down here. It's super heavy.
All right, come, bring it to me.
I'm gonna see if I can go down and get it.
Chad, something is in the water! Hurry, come towards me! Oh my god, hurry, Chad, come on! Oh my gosh! Are you okay? Are you okay? Chad, hurry, Chad! Come on, hurry! Chad!
That must be traumatizing. Can you imagine that happening to you? I should probably have mentioned this, but they're married. I mean, this poor girl V is just watching her husband get absolutely destroyed by what can only be described as a pond monster. Anyway, that's the end of that video. It's a pretty good cliffhanger. Now, if you had to guess what was going to happen next, I'll give you 3 options and tell me which one you think would be the best approach for V to take. Call some sort of search and rescue team to help get her husband out of the pond. Jump in the pond herself and risk getting attacked by the pond monster to save her husband. Or throw some sort of flotation device into the pond for her husband to grab onto. Well, if you guessed any of those, you would be wrong. But if you guessed that she thought that Chad got sucked down the drainage pipes of the pond, so she followed the drainage pipes to some random farm to look for Chad, then you would be correct. Congratulations, you win $5,000. Now this theory may seem a little far-fetched, like she just saw Chad get attacked by a monster, why does she think he got sucked down a drainage pipe? That's a great point, but when you see how thick the drainage pipes are, it starts to make a lot more sense.
I have to do a little bit of investigating to see where this go. But come on. Chad!
One thing's for sure though, she hasn't stopped screaming Chad between the last video and this one.
Chad! It's Chad! Oh my gosh! Oh, he says, "Hey V, it's me, Chad. I found something really cool." Well, duh, I know it's you, Chad. It's from your cell phone.
Just when she's about to lose hope, she starts getting text messages from Chad. But he's acting a little suspicious in the text messages. And we find out later that it was this hacker the whole time.
Are you okay? He says, "I'm fine, perfect health." Well, I'm really glad he's in perfect health, but that's really weird. So what happened? Okay, so he wrote back, "I got sucked through the drainage pipe." I guess we guessed correctly.
Well, I guess she's not as dumb as we thought. He really did get sucked through those 1-inch PVC pipes that we were just looking at. Damn, Chad is slimmer than I thought. He's a slim little guy, slim little boy.
I'm gonna ask him where he is, because that's pretty important. What? This is a weird respawn. Take 50 steps north and 30 steps east.
So this mysterious person who she thinks is Chad starts texting her clues on how to find Chad. He leads her to this building, she tries to get in, but
Chad?
That doesn't work. Eventually Chad's clues lead her into this weird, like, living room area.
Where am I? Why am I in this weird living room? That's weird. Somebody frame a dollar bill. Maybe it's the first dollar that I ever made on their job. People do that usually.
Yeah, people usually do that. People usually frame the first dollar they made from their job. I'd say 9 times out of 10, people frame the first dollar they made from their job. But then, things take a creepy turn. The text messages tell her to go into the basement.
All right, maybe he already found something cool and he needs the keys for them. I guess this is the only door that will probably lead to the basement. So let's go. Basement is really dark, but I guess most basements are always dark. Let me turn on my flashlight here. I can't really see where I'm going.
Immediately, it's too dark to see. So she does what any logical person would do, and she turns on her phone flashlight and shines it right in her eyes.
Can't really see where I'm going, but I'm feeling around, and there's more bars. All right, I'm just gonna crawl around because it's kind of a tight space. Different type of wall.
She walks around in this dark basement for a while, and the only thing she can feel are like cinder block walls and big metal bars going up and down. And she's like, okay, this seems like a regular basement. I guess I'll just keep stumbling past these like cage-feeling walls, and eventually I'll find Chad. But that doesn't happen. Turns out she walked right into a trap. A cell door shuts behind her, and all of a sudden she's locked in a prison.
Oh my gosh, Chad?
And this is where things get wild. Chad wild. Clay.
Yeah, you did it!
Their videos here sort of break off into 2 different streams because V is uploading videos to her own channel and Chad is uploading videos to his own channel. So you find out that Chad is in an abandoned hospital, locked in a room, while V is in an abandoned prison, locked in a cell.
Chad, help!
And here, these videos sort of take on this weird new genre that I've never seen before. It's sort of like Dora the Explorer meets Saw. It's sort of like Saw for kids, where your main characters are stuck in this like really creepy, fucked up situation. They're kidnapped and imprisoned and forced to solve riddles to get out. But they're also doing that thing that kids shows do, where they're like, oh, I don't know how to solve this riddle. Can you help? Which honestly, I think is pretty messed up. Because these videos are obviously made for like 4-year-olds. And the situations, I think, are scary enough for little kids. You know, being kidnapped and whatnot. But the fact that V and Chad are like sort of putting the responsibility on the little kids to help them get out is even scarier probably for the kids. They're trapped in these creepy ass rooms. There are these weird creepy voices from their kidnapper playing all over the place. There's riddles, there's clues, and they need you, a 4-year-old, to help them get out. And what makes these videos 10 times better is that this villain, the hacker, seems to be the world's dumbest, most sloppiest criminal. He's constantly leaving clues and riddles to help the characters get out of these situations, which, I mean, if you were trying to kidnap somebody, you wouldn't do. Like here, there's this riddle, and he wrote, how many triangles do you see on the wall? And eventually, when she gets that right, it ends up being part of the combination to unlock her from the cell. Like, why would he even write that down in the first place, unless he wanted the characters to get out? It doesn't make any sense. They do this really weird thing when they're asking the audience for help. They don't just do it like in Dora the Explorer, where Dora's like, do you see the little nutcracker guy in the background? Where is he? Oh, he's there! Thanks for yelling it at the TV. Where Dora pretends to be able to hear you speaking to the TV in real time, they ask you to comment your answer, and then they pretend that they can somehow see those comments before they've edited and posted this video. So take this triangle puzzle, for example.
Okay, all right, help me out. Let me know how many triangles you see. And I'm gonna try it and figure this out by myself too, but I need your guys' help.
Then she tries to figure it out for herself. She gets it wrong. Like a fucking amateur. But then she goes back and says she's going to look at the comments everybody else read.
Maybe I didn't do that correctly. I'm gonna look at your comments right now to see if you guys gave me any different numbers.
And then she ends up getting it right, and she thanks us all for helping her out by commenting. It's just like a really weird thing. I've never seen anybody pretend to be able to read comments on a video that they haven't posted yet before. That's the biggest indicator to me, that these videos are for people so young that they can't even like conceptualize how YouTube works, that you like film a video, edit it, and then post it, and by that time, like, what is in the video has already happened, like hours ago, days ago. This is clearly meant for people who just have no idea how videos work. There's lots of weird inconsistencies in these videos too. We can see that in Chad's video where he's trapped in the hospital. He's going around trying to like figure out clues and trying to figure out why he's in this abandoned hospital.
And is this an x-ray of my brain?
Did they remove half my brain?
In the first video, he's filming himself, you know, he's like vlogging it. He's like, I have no idea what's going on.
Hello? Is any doctors here?
Then that video leaves off on a cliffhanger. And when we come back in the next video, he's still trapped in the hospital, but he has a cameraman filming him this time.
Hello, are there any doctors in here?
I'm not sure how this is supposed to work. Like, this seems like it's supposed to be, like, trying to trick you into thinking this is reality, right? But then, like, randomly, there's this camera guy in there now. Like, did he also get kidnapped by the pond monster hacker? Is he also, like, a person who's trapped in there with them? But then they also will occasionally cut to shots that are filmed from security cameras. And when they do that, you never see a cameraman filming Chad. So it's this weird, like, mindfuck thing where it's like, well, then who is shooting this? Is there a floating camera? The security camera footage is also really weird because it's super easy to tell that they just had somebody stand up on a chair and hold the camera because there's like visible like camera shake in every one of those shots. It's like they couldn't afford a tripod. I was just looking at their Instagrams. They're pretty funny too. While they're supposedly trapped in this like prison cell or in an abandoned hospital, they're just like posting regular pictures on their Instagram. Like this, she's just chilling in like a sun hat or posting about their wedding anniversary. It's funny to read the comments on these too. Like on this picture for their anniversary, all the comments are like, if the pond monster is a fish, how could it carry Chad to old abandoned hospital? Or this one on another one of her pictures, I know who the hacker is Jake Paul, but it's she doesn't do box forts, and he's doing your Tesla one in his videos. Well, I think it's safe to say that this guy has cracked the case. Now, by now, you're probably pretty attached to these characters, and you're wondering how this whole thing ends. Well, unfortunately, there's not really any real resolution. In their most recent videos, they're still being followed and stalked by the hacker. They did get out of the prison, though. V got out of the prison, Chad got out of the abandoned hospital, they met up, and they had this epic drone chase.
Come on, drone, I'm gonna get you!
And, well, do you remember earlier when I said that Chad is sort of like a ninja? Well, you're about to see that in full effect here.
I'm gonna do a jump spin sidekick, a ninja kick, I kick the thing down. I think that'll knock it out of its commission. You get on the other side of it to distract it, and then I'll jump spin sidekick it. Ready?
Okay.
Go, 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 go.
Wow. 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 I mean, I told you he was a ninja, right? So that's about the end of the story so far. They do have another video that they posted since then, but it's not really about the hacker. It's Chad pranking his wife V to think that the hacker is inside their house chasing them, which is something that you would totally do to your wife after such a traumatizing experience of being kidnapped, but it doesn't really have much to do with the actual hacker. Well guys, now that it's the end of the video, it's time for me to do my ad read for Squarespace. So here it goes, just a regular old ad read. I'm gonna do it right now. Help! Help! Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you there. I don't really remember what happened. All I know is I was just washing my hands when I got sucked down the drain and ended up here, totally dry in different clothes. I don't really know what happened, but I think the hacker might be behind this. Oh no, guys, I think that might be the hacker. Hey, let me go!
Oh, I'm not gonna let you go, unless you solve these riddles.
Oh, you just want me to answer a few riddles?
Yeah? What do you mean?
I don't know. It just seems like you kind of put a lot of work into getting me here. You defied the laws of physics just to get me through those pipes, and you're just gonna let me go that easily if I just solve a couple riddles?
Well, isn't that what bad guys do?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you say so, dude.
Alright, here it goes. If you want to show off your online business, sell products, or make an online portfolio or any other online project, what is the best all-in-one platform to get the job done?
Squarespace.
You can do everything from picking out a domain to designing the perfect website by choosing from one of their beautiful designer templates.
Yeah, Squarespace.
What did you say?
Are you just doing an ad read for Squarespace?
They've got awesome 24/7 customer service, and you can even set up your own online store in just minutes.
Okay, did Squarespace like hire you to kidnap me and tell me about all their features? That seems like way more work than it needed to be.
No.
Dude, I've already used Squarespace before, and I've heard like every other YouTuber talk about it. I don't need to hear about the features.
Well, you've solved it. But now for the next riddle. Saw off your legs.
That's not a riddle.
Too bad, dude. That's the only way you're getting out of those chains. So, just start sawing.
You didn't even chain me by my legs, you chained me by my hands.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Here you go.
This is a hammer.
Jesus, dude, is this all you do is complain? I'm giving you an out. I kidnapped you, and I'm gonna let you out. Just, all you have to do is saw off your legs. You don't need those.
Well, alright. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, subscribe to join Greg. We're the strongest army on the internet. I'll see you guys next time. Hey Greg, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day. This, of course, is another episode of weird shit that I found on Instagram. Every time I make a video about Instagram ads or Instagram memes or Instagram comedians, my Instagram DMs are immediately flooded with people who find similar things and they send them to me, hoping that I will make a video about those things also. It's kind of helpful, actually. As someone who, you know, makes a lot of videos about these things, it's kind of nice to just have people send them to me. So if you find weird shit on Instagram, feel free to send it to me. My Instagram is Danny Gonzalez. But especially after the video that I made about Instagram ads, I got so many people sending me all of the weirdest Instagram ads that I couldn't not make another video about them. Now I know what you're thinking, that sounds like a lot of fun, and it does, and it will be, but before we have too much fun, I think it's important to remember that this chair sucks. I've been using this chair for a long time. It's a fine chair, it's sturdy enough. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's nothing fun or cool about this seat. It's a pretty plain seat. It just doesn't really do much for my butt. Or the rest of my body, come to think of it. But luckily, today's sponsor is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that makes getting tickets to cooler, more fun seats way easier. You can get seats to football games, basketball games, Taylor Swift games, Kanye West games, whatever kind of games you're into. With SeatGeek, you can do everything on your phone within the app, including actually scanning to get into the event. They've got the best deals, and they have a scoring system that lets you know when you're getting a good deal and when you're not. And if you use my promo code GREG, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. So head on over to SeatGeek. You can use the link in my description. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this show. Guys, get your butt in a better seat. I'm sure a lot of you remember the last time I reviewed ads for mobile games on Instagram. They all seem to have this really weird strategy where they show a clip from the game and then the caption above it just makes no sense. It's almost confusing to the point where you have to download the game because you're just so confused. Here's an example of this strategy. It's a game where you're this little blob and it looks like you go around trying to knock people off of this platform. And the caption is, I never knew anxiety until I played this game. I've never felt anxious in my whole entire goddamn life until I downloaded this game, which is totally inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Whether I win or lose in this game has no bearing on my well-being, but it was so stressful that for the first time in my entire life, I felt anxiety. And I know what you're thinking, yes, I do live a very privileged life. There's this game, it looks like all you really do is just zigzag back and forth, but it is the most relaxed game ever. This one's pretty interesting. It looks like you're just a little ball and you bounce from platform to platform and you try not to fall, and it's got Disney's Magic Cinderella's Castle or whatever it is in the background, and the caption for this one is, if you score 400, you can go to Disneyland. So this is interesting because, like, for the first time, it feels like an ad has a coherent phrase at the top. Like, I understand what it means. If you score 400, they're gonna give you a ticket to Disneyland, I guess, which is great. Tickets to Disneyland cost like $100 each. It's pretty impressive that an app would just pay for you to go just for getting like a seemingly pretty attainable score in this game. I think the problem that I have with this is I just kind of doubt it. I really doubt that if I download this game and get a score of 400, that they're gonna like mail me a ticket to Disneyland. So I decided I would put this to the test, download this game, and get to 400 myself, and see what happens. Fuck! No! Okay, the best I can get to is like 100, so I guess I'm not going to Disneyland. This very specific format seems to be actually pretty common with games. Here's another game where you like hit a ball and see how far it goes. And it says if you bounce 10 times, you can legally reach Pink Castle, which is just the Disneyland castle tinted pink. I can legally reach the Pink Castle. Was I not allowed to before? Why wasn't I legally allowed to reach Pink Castle? Why are they trying to keep me out? Come on, I'm a nice guy. Let me into Pink Castle. Legally this time. And then there's this one which says if you swallow Big Ben, you can go to Disneyland. If you swallow Big Ben? What the fuck does that even mean? Big Ben's like the giant clock tower in London. So if you swallow that, you might find yourself at Disneyland. And to prove it, right next to the picture of the game, there's a picture of this like skinned and gutted Donald Duck screaming in agony or maybe anger. You know, like you see at Disneyland. Man, I can't wait until I swallow Big Ben. I can go to Disneyland and see all my favorite characters, like Mickey Mouse with his arms torn off, decapitated Goofy, and skinned and gutted Donald Duck, who's very angry about something. Probably the fact that his stomach is gone. Here's another fun phrase. It's a little game where it looks like you flip, and then there's a picture next to it, which is a girl playing in bed, and a guy looking over her shoulder like, what the fuck are you doing? And the caption is, when she's tapping the game more than you. I don't understand that progression of emotions, because I think the fire is supposed to be like, sexy, like kind of hot. So it's like, she's tapping the game more than me? Oh, ah ha ha ha. Oh shit, she's tapping the game more than me? Hell yeah, girl, you tap that game. You don't gotta tap me, as long as I can creepily look over your shoulder in bed while you tap that game, baby girl. There was one ad I saw on Instagram that it seemed literally everybody wanted to send me, and rightfully so, I think. It was very festive and applied to my life personally a lot. It looks like this game where you're a little pumpkin and you spin this sort of cylinder to try to fall all the way down. It looks like a pretty interesting game, but the caption and the picture next to it are even better. If you reach level 2, you're legally a pumpkin. Legally a pumpkin. I've never heard anything better in my fucking life. And all you have to do is reach level 2? Granted, I don't really know what kind of perks or responsibilities come with being a legal pumpkin, but I mean, it sounds great to me. So your bitch ass better believe that I downloaded this game and I got to level 2. That's right. And it took me about 15 seconds. All I had to do was spin this little cylinder while the ball fell, and then I got there. It was kind of weird because when I got to level 2, the game barely even acknowledged that I reached such a momentous achievement. It also didn't say anything about pumpkins. It said nothing. It just said like, okay, level 2. Do that now. So I don't know what that's all about, but I'm guessing that my new ID will show up in the mail pretty soon, confirming my identity as a legal pumpkin. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to say to my haters, I told you so. You said I'd never amount to anything, but now I'm a pumpkin. But guys, the Instagram ads that I really want to talk about today are quite a bit different than any of the ones I've talked about before. This will be a series of ads from probably the most fucked up looking game I've ever seen. It's a game called Game of Sultans. I don't really know if it's a popular game or if any of you have maybe even played this. Maybe you could tell me if the game is as fucked up as the ads are, but it seems to be advertising all over Instagram. The thing about these ads is it makes the game look like this really gross, like sexist and all around just like awful game. And I don't understand really how it's supposed to make me want to play the game. Each ad that I've seen and that I've saved is like a series of pictures, like one of those little albums that you can go through on Instagram. So the first picture is 3 women and it looks like you're given a choice. It says, "Your Majesty, please choose a maid to serve you." So it looks like you're playing as like the king or the sultan of this palace and you have to choose a maid. And it looks like you're basing this decision purely based off looks, as there's not any sort of resume that I can see. You're basically just trying to decide who's gonna clean your house best based on who is hottest. I've never known those two attributes to be a correlation, but I don't know, maybe the Sultan knows something that I don't. Ooh, the game's heating up a little bit. Now you get to decide, who would you choose as Empress? As Sultan, graceful and elegant as you are, you get to have your pick of any lady in the land. You can choose this woman, who you've got your arm around. She seems like quite a catch. She's sort of tickling the little hairs on your chinny chin chin. Or you can pick this crying woman who is pregnant with your child. And I think the body language is pretty clear in this picture who he's thinking about choosing. So it looks like you've gone from choosing a maid to getting someone pregnant, picking an empress. So what's next in the life of a sultan, you may be wondering? Well, it looks like the next thing for you is to pass on the crown. The kingdom has to live on after you go, so it's time to start having babies. So as sultan, you decide to have a child, and the newborn son is too ugly. What should I do? Oh no. Okay, so this is an interesting predicament. The Sultan has had a child, and it's too ugly. The newborn son is too ugly. Like, there's a certain amount of ugliness that the Sultan would accept, but this son, with his unibrow and his freckles, I don't know, he looks pretty much like a normal baby except for the unibrow. This son is too ugly. What should I do? What do you mean, what should I do? Like, there's nothing you can really do now about the baby's looks. Like, he's here. The baby is here. But let's see what the options here are. I'm guessing it's going to be something like you can choose to either, you know, give the son up for adoption because he's too ugly, or you can love him just the same because no matter what he looks like, he's still your son. It looks like there's one button and it says dislike. So I guess that's your only option, is to just dislike your son forever. Ooh! Oh, the newborn son is too ugly. Dislike. I don't like you. I'm sorry, you're too ugly. And that is the only thing I will be doing, is not liking you. This game doesn't seem very fun. There's not many options. So you might think this ad is a little bit too far already, but things are really about to go off the deep end in this next picture. So there's this picture of this girl, and she appears to be crying. It looks like she's got something going on with her face, and she says, "My queen, please forgive me." So I guess we're the queen now. I don't know what happened to the king or the sultan, wherever he is. He's probably off disliking his son somewhere. And the two options here are forgive her or slap again. I've already slapped her once? I feel like a monster, and I'm not even playing the game. It just put me into this situation where I've already slapped this girl once. I don't even know what she did. The game just assumes, like, yeah, well, obviously you're gonna slap her once, but what do you want to do after that? Like, are you gonna forgive her, or do you want to slap her again? If this is really in the game, I don't really think this game should be in the App Store. I mean, it's just a confusing premise for a game, first of all. Like, what even is this game about? Is it about even being a sultan? Because it kind of just sounds like being an asshole. Like, you're picking a maid based on looks, you're abandoning this woman you got pregnant, you're calling your son ugly, and then you're slapping this woman. The caption for this ad doesn't really help either. The maid conceived your child accidentally. That's a weird phrase. She conceived your child accidentally. It's sort of taking a lot of the blame off the dude, right? Like the sultan's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, I might have had sex with you, but you're the one who accidentally conceived a child. Saying accidentally makes it sound like it was like a clumsy thing, like, whoops, oh, I slipped and now I'm pregnant. Would you ask her to give birth and promote her as a concubine? What's a concubine? Is that like a mix between a cucumber and a porcupine? A concubine is a woman who lives with a man but has a lower status than his wife or wives. The next ad for this game has some pretty good social commentary. Let's check it out. The first image shows 3 women again, but this time we see young girls. One is poor, one is noble, and one is rich. I think that this image is trying to make some sort of like social commentary about rich people, because the rich girl looks a little bit heavier. The caption says, Ottoman Palace Life. I was born 20 times before I gave birth to a cute princess. What does that mean? I feel like that's a mistranslation or something. But the result was accidentally fat. No one wants to marry her. Ugh. No one wants to marry my fat daughter. Do you know how many times I had to be born to have that daughter? So I don't really get what the picture's supposed to represent. Like, was I supposed to have a poor daughter so that way she'd be skinny? But don't worry, the next picture is worse. Jesus. Okay. The next picture is the rich girl from the previous picture saying, Father, I need a hug. And the father saying, you must lose weight. What? Okay, forget how fucked up this is for a second. Like, Forget how fucked up it is that this dude won't give his daughter a hug because she's overweight. How is this game fun? Like, it just seems stressful to have to be this little guy who is getting stressed out about his daughter's weight. He's all worried about his ugly son. I mean, look at him. He's so stressed out about his daughter's weight. His face is all warped. He's got like shade coming over his forehead. It looks like he's in physical pain because his daughter is heavier than he wants her to be. But don't worry, because part of this game is putting your daughter on a diet so that she can become the ideal looking 18-year-old in your eyes. Wow. I thought this game was gonna be fun when you could have ugly sons, but now that I know you can put your daughter on a diet, where can I download this game? What an awful sounding game. Why is it an appealing idea for a game to even be this sultan who's just this like womanizing douche? I don't know, but now I'm kind of tempted to download it and see what it's actually like, if it's actually like that at all, or if that's just a bunch of like weird clickbaity stuff to try to get you to download the game. So I don't know, let me know if you want me to make a video about me playing that game, or at least seeing what it's like. Maybe I'll try it. Guys, holy shit, the response to my last video has been crazy. So for those of you who didn't see my last video, I basically recapped this entire story where Brilliant Surprise Toys took down one of my videos, but after a long effort and a little bit of reviewing my legal options, we got it back up. That was the video about Papa being replaced. There was the song at the end of it. I turned the song into a full version of the song to sort of stick it to Chad. That went up on iTunes and Spotify. It got on the top of the iTunes comedy charts for like 3 days. After I posted that video, it got back up onto the top of iTunes comedy charts and stayed there for like a week. It's also now my second most streamed song on Spotify, and it's probably gonna become my most streamed song on Spotify in a couple days. It's just crazy all the good feedback I've been getting on that video. I really appreciate it. And I think it just really goes to show how strong Greg truly is. If you don't know what Greg is, it's the name that I call my fans. It's my fan base, but it's more than just a fan base, it's a family. We're a family and we're an army. The strongest army on YouTube, in fact, and the fastest growing at that. So thank you guys for being so supportive. I'm really glad that you guys have enjoyed the song as much as you do. I've loved seeing your tweets and like Instagram videos of like you listening to the song with friends and stuff like that. That's awesome. As always, if you want to join Greg, all you have to do is subscribe and turn on my notifications. Thank you, My Sister Wants a Corgi, for turning on notifications. You are truly Greg. I hope that your sister gets the corgi that she wants. I'll see you guys next time with a really interesting video where I am overcome with stage fright and I can't say a word the entire video.